grandpa's brother?
My grandpa
Maybe.
has a couple brothers.
Yeah, because
And does that make them Fred's uncle? Maybe.
because if Fred is Sage's parent, that would mean the brother of Sage's grandpa would be Fred's uncle. You see, the dots are connecting.
Why are you intertwining us as family even further?
I mean, I'm just saying facts. Hard facts all day.
Like, yes, I look at my friends as family, but I don't need them to be in specific family roles, okay?
Now,
It's
did you
not...
get Fred, okay? Did you get Fred's signature to play this session? We need these consent forms in.
Oh, Lord.
I ate Wendy's earlier, and I'm probably eating more fast food later.
How does it feel to eat fast food?
I eat fast food like once a week, so but that's just like my cheat day. So, but
Oh,
yeah,
I thought I had like once a month for some reason.
I've been doing it once a week because it helps with calories and yeah. So that's always good.
Keeping it regular.
Almost counted as medicine.
I guess in a way it is.
Like I thought, because when I had poor blood circulation, I was thinking that I wasn't having enough iron, and I was like, I haven't eaten a hamburger in a while. That's like I was thinking like that's my only source of iron is hamburgers. I'm like, I should probably get a hamburger.
Fred Prize was saying that you were meeting my grandfather's brother, who is apparently your now potential maybe uncle.
Are you related to a Kevin?
Grandpa.
No!
Okay, that's the thing. I am named after my grandfather, so I might be my own grandfather.
Oh my
That's how that
god.
works.
It's like
Okay.
Futurama.
So the plot thickens. Sage, how does it feel to be an incest baby?
I don't think that's what that meant.
Anyway.
I don't think that's what that meant at all.
Anyway.
I mean,
my
incest
God.
in your blood, so
I don't think so. Even if Fred was my parent, it's an adoptive parent relationship.
How does it feel to have so much in common with drama?
Oh Lord, no! Stop it! Stop! No! Stop it all!
Anyway. Do you all want to recap?
Yes.
I'm gonna kill myself with a hit while you do.
In Minecraft.
Are you ready, babe? Alright. Once you start the recording, I will start the recap. Alright. So, when we last left our heroes, the two of them, being Ember and Leaf, were sucked into the hourglass. After it falls to the ground and no one around actually being affiliated to the hourglass.
Well, to tell you the truth,
Artemis, Kermit, and Sheila decided to just leave behind hiding in some garbage.
quite simple, really.
After a prolonged conversation and a long trek through the city, they came across Nala, who was buying clothes and whatnot for everyone to go to the aisles, but then became quickly livid when they found out that they left the hourglass in some garbage. After going to retrieve it, they find that the hourglass is missing, and thankfully discovered it before it was going to be destroyed with Ember tied up. When the hourglass was struck for the first time by the unknown woman that you had an encounter with, it caused time to fracture as a crack grew in the hourglass, as there were several different depictions of scarab wings throughout the windows of the clock tower. After managing to defeat her and send her away, she retreated, and Ember managed to grab the hourglass, to which it nearly knocked him unconscious, as his essence essentially was drained and used to fix the hourglass. Afterwards, the party decided to leave and take care of Artemis's deal of trying to kill I can't say his name. I'm sorry. Gronin. I want to say Garen, but I'm like, no, wait, that was from freaking.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Garen.
from Gronin.
The fermented fish sauce.
They learned that he would likely be hunting more animals and that they would be nearby water if animals were there. Be it underground springs, the river itself, or any other means of water, except for wells, because that was stupid.
Hey, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
As you guys are walking out from Sparrow Wings around the outer edge through the Yellow District, Ember starts shaking and splitting and convulsing as he gets turned into sand and pulled into the hourglass. But as Ember is pulled in, the hourglass starts shaking violently to the point where it almost knocks Nala on their back. After a few more moments, another being comes shooting out, being Leaf. And Leaf, I can say that you take Ember's place. When you come out, you noticed three things in particular. First thing, your mouth is full of sand. Second thing,
As always.
your head is throbbing with pain. And
Okay.
thirdly, it feels like you're on fire.
Hey, what's up?
Artemis and Noah, you see that Ember is, or not Ember, you see that Leaf is indeed on fire.
Leaf would be screaming.
Sand attack. Just throwing sand at her.
Yeah,
Oh, is that okay?
This has never happened. What the?
Leaf does stop, drop, roll. Emergency, get the fuck flames off me. Rolling around in sand, I guess. Also, probably vomiting, honestly, because if she had sand in her mouth, the pain shooting through her flames would not allow her to just spit out normally. So she's probably puking.
Alright. As you're rolling around trying to put out the flames, you notice that the flames are not dissipating.
Crying. More screaming.
And as you're freaking out, you realize that while your head is in pain, the fire is not causing you pain.
You had said that she felt like she was on fire.
Yeah,
I think that
but it doesn't mean-
says pain.
Yeah, it feels like you're on fire, like the worm licks, but you are
Right.
on fire, but it's not causing immense pain. If
It's
anything,
like you feel like you're on fire, but it's not because of the fire. But you are also on fire, but you don't feel pain from that fire.
Okay.
You guys ever seen that one throwing a fireball thing, or like that trick where you have alcohol burning on your hand, but it's not actually burning
Yeah.
you? So you're on
Yeah.
fire, but it's not hurting?
yeah, it's exactly like that.
As I guess as Leaf calms down, having only thought that there was pain coming with the flames, she's still panicked. No longer rolling, but definitely like breathing heavily. As she just looks at the flames.
You know,
The flames are all where your hair or fur is.
maybe they fuse together. Show her my boobs.
You just pull out you pull everything out? Leaf blushes, but she's looking at you like, I don't know what's going on.
The fire just goes.
Oh my god.
Oh, and
Ah! Even more! Stop that! Stop that!
Leaf looks away. And touches the fire. She runs her hand through her fur.
It doesn't burn you.
yeah, you can't go. I already tried that.
Yeah, what now?
Either I've already tried that with Ember.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what that is supposed to mean right now. I don't.
Culture. I tried to cook it to give it to you guys to eat it, but it wouldn't cook.
Okay.
that one time at 4
I'm-
class.
I'm
but-
just a bit concerned as to why I have fire on me. This isn't
Well-
normal.
I mean,
Yeah.
the hourglass one too many times with Ember, and you guys maybe spits up honey or something, or
Where
coming out his butt.
is Ember
So-
currently in the hourglass?
Yeah, he went in right when you came out, which
Maybe.
maybe that's the thing. Also, it got damaged recently, so maybe there's some internal problems.
Yeah, I think that would explain the headache then, which I'm assuming she's still feeling,
Yeah, it
because
is.
that was different.
Oh yeah, it's like an extremely potent headache.
I had an idea.
Headache. Go ahead, Spike.
Stealing. Oh no, I was like, you kind of stealing my idea here because I had an idea. Watch this. So she into the Minotaur, but where the Minotaur's fur, like his like mane and stuff is, it's all on fire because I mixed the stuff Ember has, like the fire shit, with the Minotaur. So I'm a flaming Minotaur now. It's scary now. Roar. He like move.
Does a headache count as a condition? Or
I was also gonna ask, is it like a headache, like a normal headache, or is it like a migraine?
Like a migraine. And I
Okay,
will say
then
this,
yeah, she's.
while you're in the hourglass, you also have heard a very loud boom, and that was pretty much like the cause that started the headache.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Nala tries casting Lesser Restoration on LaFlutter, trying to see if that can cure the headache. Well, actually, no. She vocalized that she had a headache, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So she does try this. Does that help?
It does.
So from after like Leaf had said it, her antenna were like scrunched to her head and like clearly distraught. So when you do this, she slowly releases those and she calms. Her breathing calms. Thank you. Also, it's good to see you again. Not like this, but good to see you again.
Yeah, you're honestly, you're kind of hard on the eyes, kind of bright. Nice to see you, though. Yeah, kind of like looking right in the sun. But
Let me see if I can calm this. And Leaf tries to focus on calming the flames on her, as if it was like Ember.
Don't think about boobs.
Make a con check.
Like a saving throw?
No, just a check.
Okay. 19.
All right.
Rolled well.
As you're calming down, the headache relieved and everything, you take deep breaths and you see that the flames start kind of flickering, and instead of going inward, it's more like it's heading out as it's kind of taking like just tiny, tiny bits of your fur and just like shedding it as it, and then as it is removed from your body, it immediately just turns into bits of sand as it just leaves a large pile around you. You are no longer on fire at all.
That's interesting.
oh,
I just
oh
I put it out.
yeah.
I don't. You said that the hourglass got damaged recently. Maybe this has something to do with that, especially if the first like exchange afterwards was Ember going in and me coming out at the same time. Maybe it had something to do
Or-
with that.
Ember's the one that fixed it.
Maybe he put some of his stuff in the hourglass, so how full of sand.
Ah,
maybe that full of
phrasing.
fire.
He fixed it?
Yeah, it had a crack and he touched it and it went away.
Interesting. We should keep these things in mind and bring them up to the elf, the researcher.
Yeah, Tommy Boy was it?
Can you remind me of his name? The one that lived in Mista?
Alright, let me go ahead and pull up his name.
The germaphobe.
Yeah, it's like Thaddeus, I think, but
There it was. Thaddeus.
We should probably tell these things to Thaddeus in case they mean anything to him when we get a chance.
That gum does not fix the hourglass.
oh yeah, somehow I almost forgot that you did that.
Where are we?
Outside of Scarab's Wings, we're looking for that one dude that apparently skinned some baby sphinxes or something.
Stamp him.
Oh,
Okay, so you
Okay.
did know about them, or you didn't know about them?
I.
How long have you been looking for this guy?
Remember I told you she doesn't want to kill him because she likes
I wanted
sneaking
actual proof that he had done what you were suspecting him of. Otherwise, if he did what you say, then I understand him.
He has Sphinx boots on his feet.
How did Leaf like face palms completely? Like, oh my lord! How did we not notice that when we first had when we first interacted with him?
I don't know, is it obvious?
I guess none of us just bothered to look at his feet.
Hmm.
I don't want to be involved in it, but if you're going to kill him, I'm not going to stop you.
I mean, yeah, seems like a good thing to kill him, yeah. What, honestly, what I don't get is, Artemis, why do you want to?
She believes that he's her brother.
And how does that narrow it down? Or give any
Leaf-
reason for it?
Leaf looks to
Actually-
Artemis to explain. Spike? Does anyone...
Direction, hold on a minute.
Okay.
Did I just hear my sister's got an erection? I'll be a minute.
You pervert.
I
Of
think
course,
he
of
said
course,
giving
Miss.
direction.
Of course, the
I
father
heard
of an
giving
incest
direction.
baby would say that.
Oh my fucking
Hmm.
god.
Does
Prize,
it count
I'm
as
going to
incest
kill
if
you.
I make a baby solely with myself?
Yeah, I mean, you're from the same parents, aren't you?
No. Wait, what?
You with yourself.
Well,
You both
yeah,
the
but
same mom and dad. Case closed.
Jesus is an incest baby.
I don't want to be involved in this. Fred, I'm
Too
sorry to
late,
say
you
this. You're
already
not
involved.
you're not Fred, you're not my parent. I can't.
I'm
You're Not
sorry.
my parent.
Hmm.
I don't care. I'm disowning Fred as my parent. This is no longer
That it is the family right to disown your parents. It started with me. It ends with you.
I'm sorry, Fred, but I can't I love you as a friend, but I can't have you as a parent. I can't be involved in this anymore.
Ute upapa ute.
Oh my
Ute
fucking
upapa
God.
ute.
I just
Ute
left a
upapa
cult.
ute. Oh, you too. Is everyone leaving cults? B, are you okay? Are you being hijacked by a cult?
No,
Or is a
I'm
cat
right here.
playing with your microphone?
Cat is in my lap, yes.
Mm.
Yeah, your cat was.
Get off, bud. Get off. There you go. Sorry. Okay, cat no longer in my lap.
I mean,
At
I don't
what
think we
cost?
were. Yeah, I don't think we were saying that you absolutely had to stop doing that thing with the cat, but you were fine.
Anyway,
Kitty.
continue.
We have-
We are waiting on. Oh, Spike's back.
She needed directions because my mom told her something. My mom won't answer because she's busy putting out the camper right now. So she's just, yeah. My sister, when I talk, I'm like, I'm in the middle of playing D&D. She's like, oh, okay, because she's like, we trapped for like 15 hours, so she's like bored.
I'd heard you say that your sister had an erection.
Yeah, I completely misheard you.
Directions.
So did you hear what Nala asked Artemis?
What you ask?
So
So, why? Okay, so LaFlutter before that had said that he was your brother, so Nala went, and I don't get why you would want to kill him for that reason, actually.
He's evil. Guy. Have peoples.
Is this... Okay, why do you think he's evil, then?
Does? Even
he
me.
thinks all of her
Who's
siblings are evil.
they? Wait,
Yes.
what? Did you just say you're evil and a good guy?
Goodest of the evils. The lesser of two evils. Lesser of like lots of evils.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
So this-
neither I kill him and I get stronger, or he kills me and he gets stronger, and then you have to deal with him being evil, than me, and doing things like killing baby sphinxes. Someone like me was trying to figure out who killed the baby sphinx and kill him. Right?
Okay. Yeah, frankly, just as long as we put someone that's killing baby animals to justice, or, stopping the behavior, I don't really care, but at least I understand it better.
So like I have these things in my head that tell me to do bad stuff, right? And like,
Yeah, I've met one.
turn into a werewolf, they go fucking crazy and want to kill everything and eat stuff, and then like people don't a werewolf because they turn evil.
I mean, the werewolf we met actually just helped us when they returned, so I don't know if they're evil, but
Can't
sure.
help it, right? Like they can be like a good person, when they turn into a werewolf, they will become evil because like their primal instincts kick it in, blah 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 blah, right? So
Okay, yeah.
so it's like time. The control, the better than most. So, out there potentially trying to hunt and kill me, I kill them. Most of them might not even know who they are or what they are. Like this guy and dude, wherever. He probably thinks he's some dude. But he's probably not very smart either. Usually why, like the ones that don't know what they are, that's the ones that are like scary. The ones that do know what they are, those are the most scariest.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, but you have your reasons. That's fair.
Of murder. Hi, what's up?
Yeah, got stuff, yeah.
Dad was the
So Kermit, are you just sort of like hopping along with this, or did you have some reason to want him dead too, or what's going on with you?
He just looks at you,
Now
And
stares
just-
back.
and then he continues playing and walking.
Look at my banjo look.
Oh yeah, what song are you playing right now?
Ring of
let's-
Fire.
He was playing Ring of Fire a while ago because he saw.
Because it was on fire.
Yes. Let's see. What song would he play now? I think I know the one.
Highlander song. They can only Highlander song.
That's actually a good idea. But he's basically playing a song that has the we would know as stuff's about to go down or somebody's gonna die. It'll be a song conveying one of those two emotions. I just haven't prepped to put on quite yet.
Duel of the Fates on a banjo.
The body's to the floor.
Let's see.
All right.
I guess we start looking around for. Boots tracks.
Well, you guys can do that. Kermit is going to do.
Fashion them so every footprint leaves 4 little footprints of cat paws in the sand.
I love it. I love it.
Perry smell him, since Perry had smelled him before.
right?
Make an investigation check with advantage since this is regarding scent.
What did you tell me to roll again?
Investigation or survival?
Investigation.
The same because it's just a stat, right?
Investigation.
It's different stats.
12.
Probably has a really low intelligence then.
Yeah.
He's a
Right.
normal weasel.
Like he's not a familiar.
Well, he's a familiar, but he has the stats of a normal weasel.
It should have an intelligence of 6.
Which means there'd be a -2.
Yep.
So it'd be a 14, which probably doesn't affect the DC.
I thought it only had normal weasel stats, so I gave it intelligence of 2.
Yeah. All the stats are the same except for intelligence because that's
Okay.
where you can comprehend languages. Because
Go ahead
I
and tell
didn't know
him
that.
to find the person I need to murder.
well,
Alright. So he's sniffing around, gets his nose full of sand, sneezes out, sniffs a bit more, and then catches the scent.
Roll.
Perry the Bloodhound.
He knows the direction of where Cronin is going.
Squeak, 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 squeak. Alright,
I mean-
I've got the scent.
I mean, Perry can communicate to Leaf telepathically, so Leaf could be like, yeah, over that way.
With the scent, you see that he is heading towards the east.
Leaf would lead everyone this way.
Can Nala be looking for tracks while we're walking to see if he came through this way?
You may.
Okay, would that be survival?
Yes.
Okay. That is a 25.
Yeah, you see 2 sets of very heavy footprints in the sand. Not a set.
Ooh.
Just a set of heavy footprints in the sand. Walking.
Okay.
Okay, so from here, what direction does Perry smell the guy in?
This way. And
So out towards the desert.
out towards the desert, yes.
So
And since you have the memory thing, you recognize the path and the direction that you guys are going in.
Mhm. Does it head towards the caves?
It heads towards the Sphinx.
Leaf would notify everyone that we're headed towards where the Sphinx was, and we may want to hurry.
We can
You guys,
help her babies.
you saw a Sphinx and it had babies?
So we met up with the Sphinx, and she only had the bodies of her babies left, and this guy had the furs.
Yeah, no, I knew that he skinned baby sphinxes. I just didn't know you guys saw the
Mother?
mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
How we found out about it all, because the town didn't know what had happened. They thought that she had just left.
What, the
Sphinx.
Sphinx just sort of
The Sphinx
What,
was
lived in town?
apparently guarding the town, and then left because of them not being grateful to her, is what I remember, right, B? Right, B? B?
I was saying, I'm right here. Stay calm. I was saying, say, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay.
Do you guys not hear me?
I can hear
Oh,
you.
I hear you.
Oh, you
I
fuck.
was just being a butt. I'm sorry. But it was that she first left because the town wasn't actually appreciating her for her work, right? And then
The reasoning that she left was because that they had grown more corrupt and greedy, and she said that they betrayed her in some fashion.
okay. Then yeah, Leaf would have said that instead of yeah. They grew more corrupt and betrayed her. She didn't exactly go into detail about it, but then she told us that after she'd left, living in the caves, she had gone hunting, and that when she came back, her babies were dead.
Oh, I guess she didn't get sent out because somebody killed her babies then. Be interesting to figure out why she left the town, though. She's probably better off in the wilderness, though.
So I'm guessing that we make our way to the caves.
Yes, you do. So after a fair bit of walking and your legs tired, although those with wings could probably fly, you do start to get to the craggy and rough textured walls of this little den that she had.
Before heading in, is there any sign of someone in there? Any noise coming out or anything?
Make a perception check.
Would that be everybody since we're all like. We're all walking up?
And can
It could be
Perry get
everyone-
advantage?
It'd be everyone that wants to do it, I should say.
For the guy, so.
I once again have a 25.
Perry has a 23.
Alright. So, as you have all. Sorry. As you're all getting closer and approaching, you do hear the sound of what appears to be metal grinding on stone. And you would also have noticed, and you've also noticed the heavy footprints that were from before, Nala, that are
Yep.
here.
Okay, he's inside. Well, let's hurry.
Artemis runs in, yeah.
All right.
Now skipping the stairs, just flying up.
Now it's just gonna straight up fly on up there.
Yeah, it's time to hurry.
Leaf wouldn't leave her to do that alone. Leaf would fly up with her, so that way, if she goes in there, she's not flying in alone.
You mean into a trap?
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. All right. So let me go ahead and put the map up. Please put the map up.
Please work, roll 20. I don't have any goats to sacrifice anymore.
Why don't you let's go?
That was last session.
I'll start sacrificing fingers.
No, I would rather not.
Why would you get rid of such a tasty snack?
I'm on hotel internet, streaming, Discord, Roll20.
There we go.
5 mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Nala and Leaf, as you two are flying up, you do see that Goronin is there, sitting on what looks to be a decent-sized stone, cleaning his axe. As you see the Sphinx laying there in a puddle of her own blood.
Miss casts Hex on him. I don't know if you noticed you get hex put on you.
I do.
I-
So
Does
wait,
it have
what
verbal
is he?
components?
It doesn't like I was thinking about this a couple of years ago with Horatio, and it doesn't say the target would be aware of it.
They have to say that, right? Like when
Yeah.
things. But either way, I'll make it easy. I'll do Hexblade Curse just because it's his ability, right?
Alright. So as you all approach up and you cast Hexblade Curse on him, he isn't looking directly at you as he kind of just glances upward, finishing cleaning his axe off of blood.
Things easy. I started trying to kill him. So, what do I get to kill him?
He, before you made the first step, I'm just going to say, he looks up like, about time you showed up.
I had to deal with she just the people around her. Well,
Hi, you're violating natural law. You're gonna die.
Law? You're lecturing me about law.
No. I'm murdering you. Nala's slightly in front of you. Does it look like the Sphinx is still alive?
She's currently in a puddle of her own blood. Not moving.
Okay.
Armor's like 5 feet tall, so.
Yeah, just let me
Is
know when I can
she-
start taking actions.
Is she breathing? Is she still conscious?
You can make a investigation or perception check to see if she is still alive. Medicine, sorry.
Oh, neat.
Oh. That was on Leaf's page, so I mean it's still a 3.
Leaf sheet. Yeah.
Leaf and Nala, you think that she is A-okay. She's just taking a nap in some Kool-Aid. Kermit, you know she is in dire critical condition.
I want to stand up right now.
Actually, I like how the healers, like, well, actually, no, I guess Artemis has a, what is it? No, Artemis has a healing spell too, but, yeah. So
Looking
so
for
Nala,
help.
LaFlutter just aren't.
Why is Artemis making?
I was saying I have 2 healing spells. I'm not making them. I'm just showing.
Uh,
Look, I
Oh, okay.
them.
of course.
Of course. Kermit
So-
only rolled because he sees the Sphinx as a possible asset for later.
So as Granin slowly gets up, he's like, what? You're not ball spawn enough to fight me on your own. Or are you just scared and weak?
She's gonna look at everyone. It's like shitty and stupid, but it's such a lie. Like Yu-Gi-Oh shit. Power comes from my friends, and you don't have. You're gonna lose here today. She goes like some anime character bullshit.
Bee kind of looks, or Leaf looks, not Bee, sorry. Leaf looks confused, but gives her a thumbs up back. Like, oh.
I think she started talking about Nage too or something like that. I don't know, but maybe something like that's happening. And grandfather's deck has no shitty cards or something. I don't know.
I'm expecting her to say literally all of this verbatim,
yeah.
and just all of us being like, "What the fuck are
Just
you
think
talking
of
about?"
whatever cheesy anime bullshit you want. She probably says it in her monologue at some point. It's just to confuse him while she's casting more spells on him.
Leaf also looks to the guy like, do you understand what she's talking about?
I will be the one true hero. I will surpass All Might.
The man, Granin, looks at you like, honestly, no. Doesn't matter.
He's like, nah, I could probably. Why would I waste my time doing that? I'm not stupid.
But you are weak.
The thing is, plan to be is a gods have these things like followers and minions that do shit for them. I mean, I'm just kind of the curve right now.
Leaf then starts shaking her head at you.
You know, other stuff might be true too. You know, friendship, power, all that stuff. I mean, it's true. I'm gonna kill him better with you guys helping me with you guys than you guys not helping me, right?
Yes, but please don't refer to us as your minions.
You like it, don't lie.
I do not, and I'm not lying.
Okay. Still casting more spells at him, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, neither do I.
Are we allowed to act B? Are we allowed to start battle? What's going on?
You're allowed to act and start battle as he starts to stand up, look at Artemis and say,
Okay.
"Fine. I'll kill you all myself." And now,
Are we rolling initiative?
does that answer your question?
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah. Aw. Fuck.
Well,
So nat 1.
No, but
Oh, I did that to GM for some reason. Sorry.
here comes the hot stepper. What?
I'll post it.
Here comes the boy.
Hello,
Hello,
boy.
boy. Welcome.
There you are.
Fern to freaking.
I love that thing, but it's also slightly creepy.
Oh, there's a worse one. Someone does it
Oh,
in a
no.
gremlin voice.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Anyway,
Here comes the man,
Mm,
the
I prefer
taxpayer.
boy.
Oh no, it's the same person that does the sound, but they're like making fun of people showing their boyfriends
Yeah.
with it. Like,
guys,
Oh.
no,
can you
if I
please
wanted
shut?
that, I would say, "Hello, man.
Guys, it's
Hello,
battle time.
taxpayer."
It's battle time.
Okay, my turn. It's fine. They can keep talking.
It's battle time.
Okay. So, first one hits, second one did not hit, but with the demigod, it does hit. So, that is. Doing the math, that's 13. 13 plus 3. That's 36. Okay.
5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 18. Yeah, yeah.
Alright. So, as you send the Elder Daggers towards him, they impact onto his shoulders, and he is just a brick wall at this point as he just takes them and just is looking dead in your eyes. You're going to regret that.
Mm-hmm. Choose one.
Do you
Where
actually
does she
run off?
run off
Chase
to?
me.
Where is she? Okay, there we go.
Away.
Wait.
That's a cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that's-
clip.
She just jumps down the cliffs. Is
Okay.
it more than 10 feet?
Yes.
How much more than
Well, I
10
mean,
feet?
for context, the intended route to go up is like this for quite a bit. There's at least like an
Far
entire
down,
set of pillars
how far
up.
down is it?
30 feet each.
So
So
30
30,
feet, 60
30.
feet.
If he chases me, he's gonna take. I just want him to fall and just die, like because we hurt him so much before he gets his turn. Probably take. Wait, over here then.
That's what I was showing you earlier with the rulers. Yeah,
Well,
except that
me
Nala and
and-
LaFlutter
yeah.
flew up.
Yeah.
We flew up skipping
Okay,
all
okay,
of that.
Okay. That makes more
Except
sense.
for
here.
I'm over
Kermit.
here.
I'm assuming Kermit jumped up.
Kermit would
Yeah.
have been able to climb up, but Kermit's actually following.
Artemis?
Yeah, following Artemis.
I'm good at climbing.
Okay.
She's not
Okay.
gonna climb up a mountain.
And you know
Okay.
what? This is actually good because we get a good advantage of being like on either side of him. But does Artemis still run way back down the stairs?
Woo.
Alright. Well, keep in mind that the route you would have to take is this one.
That's good enough. I don't care. I just walk away wherever I can.
Alright, well, if you walk away, Your maximum speed is what again? 30. Okay, so yeah, you would have ended
Put me
up
wherever I need to be put for 30.
there.
Okay. You need to.
Anything is less than 10 feet, I'm gonna jump down it.
Okay. All right.
More than 10 feet?
Yes, that's 10 feet.
And I believe
Here to here.
Artemis would
Here
jump
to
down
here.
there.
That's
Uh,
15 feet.
If you fall 10 feet, does that count as moving 10 feet?
No, falling is not conducive to your movement.
Okay,
And
I
you
wasn't
can-
sure
you
if it worked like.
And you can fall
Like
up
jumping.
to 500 feet in a turn.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
yeah. Yeah, sure, I'll go there. I don't care. Well, he can jump down if he wants to fight me.
All right, so then do you drop down as well? Or do you just take the walk path?
Walk, so he can be in range if he wants to jump down. So he'll take an extra d6 if he jumps.
Okay. All right. And that's your turn?
Yep.
All right. Nala, your turn.
Nala's gonna activate her symbiotic entity and step up. For a. Well, she doesn't know why the Sphinx is sleeping. So. I don't think she'll do anything with that. But let's see. So 4 times 6 is
He
24.
cast a sleep spell on him.
Oh, yeah. That's probably what it is, yeah. But I don't think I have a bonus action besides a healing spell, so.
To be fair, you probably tell the Sphinx is hurt because it has like stab wounds in it or something, right? But
a
even if you
pool
don't
its blood.
We rolled
that's
really
just
low
Kool-Aid.
medicine rolls.
Oh, yeah, nat 1, yeah, so. I mean, yeah, the only thing I'm really waiting on is if they die, then I have a reaction I can take. But aside from that,
die.
nothing else happens.
All right.
I have a
Kermit?
small idea on what I could do.
Or actually, no, I can't do that because they're a larger creature. Never mind.
1, but what did you get all together? A 6?
Yeah, 6, which is not the worst. Because,
It's not.
I got a 3.
yeah.
3, yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, 3 is. 3, you are not figuring out anything.
It's more than 5.
5 athletics to climb a rope. You are good enough to be a doctor as someone can climb a rope. You want to equate that? You probably know stab wounds mean you're hurt.
That blood should be on the inside!
Right?
Is there Kool-Aid coming out of the wounds or the holes in their body? Is that normal?
Whatever is going on is not good. Which would actually mean that it would.
Surprise.
Okay, so B, are you okay with that being justification to be able to cast Healing Word? The Kool-Aid should not be coming out of that Sphinx's body?
I will allow it.
Okay. Do I have that programmed for a D4? I do not have that programmed for a D4 plus 5. Well, just gonna quickly do that. The Sphinx regains 7 hit points if applicable.
All right. You do not see any immediate change.
Okay. Well, Nala moved 20 feet, has her symbiotic entity up, and cast that. So Kermit's turn.
All right. And Current already went. He was.
Yep, shot, miss, climbed up 30
What did you
feet.
climb up exactly?
This little thing over here.
All right. That is. Let me see. Pillars.
Actually,
Fired and I missed.
how tall is that one?
Which one? Those ones. All right. So the lower pillars here are 45 feet up. The pillars here are 30 feet up, and these two here are 20 feet up.
Okay, if this is 30 feet up, and what is the leveling here? 20 feet or 30 feet?
This is 20 feet. Like where Artemis is, they're 20 feet below you and Nala and Leaf.
Okay. Well, I guess Kermit can hop to this pillar then.
All right. To that pillar. That's your movement and turn, correct?
Yep, that's his turn.
All right. As Gronin looks at you, Nala, he grins as he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a walnut and says, "You'll be first." And he
Sorry, what's a walnut?
a
Or
walnut,
are you saying walnut, or
walnut.
is it the name of a weapon, or is it a walnut?
It's a walnut.
Okay, he pulls out a walnut.
Yes.
Okay.
And he crushes
Do
it.
with the walnut.
And he crushes it in his hand and opens. And all around Nala and slightly towards Artemis, pretty much everywhere around him is engulfed in a dark shadow like pure pitch black darkness.
Okay.
So-
What conditions are we under?
So, Nala, you are blinded. Kermit
Okay.
and Leaf, you cannot see anything within this square. Artemis, you can because of your devil sight.
Interesting.
Wait. No. Kermit. Surprise literally had it, though, because he busted it out and went blind.
And then he is going to take two of things. And he is going to bam.
My
23.
AC is 14, so that doesn't hit.
Aren't you
You're
blinded
blinded.
though? So you have so he has advantage to hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would do it. Oh, yeah.
So, first
Okay.
one,
Oh,
11 slashing.
also... Oh, wait, do I have to see with my symbiotic entity in order to...
Click the description.
Yeah,
right
so...
here. Lost vision active.
Oh, I know, it's Hail of Spores, actually. I'm wanting to use... Okay, so I need to look... this is one that I didn't do.
Writing.
Yeah, so I need to look up the actual Circle of Spores thing, and then Control-C to figure out if this works right. Hail of Spores. Gonna post that in chat, and hopefully I'll fix it later.
Interesting thing. How many attacks against him?
Yeah, one I can see, so this doesn't work, so that works. So you said the first attack did 11 damage?
And the second one, that's an 11. That does not hit.
Okay, so 11 damage to temporary hit points.
Yep.
As well.
So
Opportunity attacks against creatures you can see.
So as the walnut is crushed open, when he releases his hand, everywhere around you, you don't see any light at all. And in your confusion, you're immediately met with a battle axe towards your chest as you can feel it graze across your skin, and you kind of lean back a bit from startle.
Uh,
Leaf, it's your turn.
Yeah. Leaf's gonna call out and saying playing dirty isn't fair and cast daylight in that darkness. Centering it in here. It can dispel magical darkness if it's 3rd level or lower.
Out of playing this game, since it came out in beta, I have never seen anyone use either of those to combo each other yet. No one ever
I got
has.
so excited hearing it. I'm like,
no
this
one
is gonna be
ever-
fucking cool.
No one ever has daylight.
yeah,
Toby did it with the White Plume Mountain, but I'm not sure if I told you about that.
I am honestly impressed.
I'm happy
Everyone
with
clap
myself.
for Sage.
I actually
Alright.
have a spell that's really useful. Oh my lord.
So, what do you say again?
Playing dirty isn't fair.
All right. So as you say that, a glob of light appears next to Nala and Gronin, or Gronin. And well, at first it doesn't seem to want to take hold. It immediately just bursts out as this large beam of light just shatters through the entirety of the darkness. As Gronin is left standing there, a pure black pebble on the ground, just barely flickering and letting off a little bit of shadow. And
He's,
Grime,
Leaf sticks her tongue out at him as a final little flare.
Gronin is displeased, but DM is impressed. I have to say, very much so. Good job.
Thank you.
That was pretty clever.
The only it took a bonus action for him to cast it. It took an action for you to get rid of it. So
Darkness
But-
takes a bonus action?
yeah, he attacked
No.
you afterwards. Bonus action. He made spelled it or something.
Hmm.
Artemis, it's your turn.
I'm like, hey, wait, he was coming after me. Can I see him from where I am?
You cannot.
Short. So
You are small.
I guess we'll run back up. Face me. My brother. Wherever I was. I don't know. I assume I was there before I came back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just gonna throw shit at him again. Not.
If you don't want to play tag, we're gonna play catch.
I don't have anything cool yet. I took bless because I figured out that bless is broken as fuck after I did the math for it.
Really
Yeah.
quickly, I just wanted Perry, since we share a turn, to just run over here closer to the thing, to the link Sphinx, and start looking at it.
Okay, so I know Perry used to be a bat, but he isn't like drinking the blood, is he?
No.
That's good then.
It's more so that Leaf telepathically told him, go check up on the Sphinx, since everyone is distracted and he hasn't seemed to notice the little weasel in the corner yet.
Alright.
E.
So, Artemis, all those.
9 damage.
How much was that? 59. Alright.
Artemis got pissed and was like, I'm gonna hurt him.
I took the dash action, so zoop back downhill.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Zoidberg.
So, he is fuming at this point. Nala, you're up.
Betty's pissed.
Well, yeah. It's, So I'm guessing that his axe is the only metal thing he has on him? Like a lot of hide stuff, clothes and stuff on him?
Yes.
Cool, like bone axe thing as a hunter, right?
Oh, is it a bone axe?
I mean,
That would be
He
really
is.
cool, though.
he is a hunter, so I mean, it is pretty much anything that comes from animals that's on his person. That includes his weapon, which thank you for mentioning, artist. It appears to be like the femur of a very large animal, with various broken bits of jaw and skull bone used as the axe blade.
Lizard folk.
Well, that looks really cool. Gonna try to swipe his face off.
All
Does
right.
the 22 hit? Then that is 3 acid damage on 2d10.
All right. You slice at his face, and he leans back a bit as it grazes on his chin and cuts off a bit of his beard. Kermit, you're up.
Alright, well, this ain't gonna be anything revolutionary.
Let me guess. He's gonna fire his gun.
No. Can I have him make a con save?
A
I know
con-
he's probably good at that.
All right. 16.
Ah, just passes. Just passes.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought of doing that too.
If he was a bit better. If it was just a bit lower.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, that's all Kermit does. He hops to the right, hops to the left.
Alright. So this man, whose closest target is currently the Dragonborn in front of him, Goranin is going to take his double swipe with his great axe. Slash. Slash. 16 and 21.
Yep, both hit. How much damage?
6 with the first one.
Oh,
16
actually-
with the second one.
Reaction on the start of his turn, since I can see him again. The boosted spores, I need a con save, and then I'll do the damage while you're doing that. So 22 damage. Yeah, that passes.
Alright.
He loves rolling 16 on con saves.
Yep.
So
And
22
furious.
damage.
And after the first 2 slashes, furious, he focuses on his fist. You see a black orb appear. And he's going to throw it at Leaf.
Okay.
And
Did my corset stay tied as it was before?
yes.
Okay. Then I still have a 17 armor class.
Alright, well that misses. So as it throws it at you, you manage to avoid it. As it whizzes by and it impacts the wall, it explodes in a fiery orb of destruction.
Hmm.
It is now your turn, Sage.
I have a quick question. With Perry closer to the Sphinx, can Perry tell if the Sphinx is dead or not?
The Sphinx is dead. Yes.
It's not breathing or anything?
Not breathing.
Okay. With Leaf pissed, would the fire come back?
Sadly, no.
Damn. Oh well. That would be cool. Anyways, yeah, I guess in that case she is mad still. She's pissed off at this guy. And already having helped, she's involved. So she's gonna yeah, just Eldritch Blast. I mean, that'll work for now.
Alright, make a range hit.
26.
Damn, you guys are rolling good. Yeah, that hits.
Ooh. All 10 damage.
I believe that has an extra D10.
Yeah.
No, you take a second
Oh,
shot.
2 attacks?
Extra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's an extra attack, but that's still something else that I need to roll again. Where I'm blind. There it is. The second one is a 14.
That one does not hit.
Oh well.
Alright. So it impacts on his chest as you see it, his eyes are now blood red.
And Nala did get hit by his axes, right? So she's looking hurt.
She had a lot of scrapes on her when you even popped out of the hourglass. But yeah.
Then she's healing lighting on you. She's throwing pollen at you. So you're getting, I believe it's a D6. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. I'm sorry.
I take
It's
1
something.
healing. This is fine.
Alright.
You know, I still have 3 hit points now. It's fine.
Artemis, you're up.
Run back up the stairs to the same spot. Thing. Martial character, so I have hit with weapon.
That hits. That does not hit.
Ooh, 17. Do I have anything to help with that? Nope.
Hmm.
Nope.
Yep, I was like, probably cast Bless. Bless, those could have been 18s. Hit. I'm done.
Alright. No, your turn.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm a little torn, but
Not yet.
Because he's also going to have a disadvantage on some check. I don't know which one, though. No, it's probably going to be strength, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd
okay.
be good.
It would have been very useful if it was Constitution, but
Saves, remember that.
Yeah, check.
oh,
Yeah, but
Oh,
no,
yeah,
that's
okay.
actually pretty useful because I was thinking about something.
One strength.
Yeah.
Strength's fine.
okay. Nella's gonna swipe at him again.
Go for it.
Yep.
That hits.
Cool. 11 acid damage.
All right. This time you rig it up his chest as it cleaves into the thick hide that he has. You can see that he reels back a bit from the pain as you do see a bit of blood and acid pooling from the carving.
Nella gives herself a little bit of a smile. Like, shaking the rust off. Okay, we can do this.
All right. Kermit.
And actually, just real quick, do you remember if I used my symbiotic entity last fight?
Let me try to recall.
Because I feel like I did, but I don't have it marked down on my sheet as that, even though I marked down my breath weapon. So we might have just ended the fight before I used it.
Let me check. I think you might have.
I remember
It's fine if we did it, and I don't want to do it, but sorry, Spike.
using any spores on cultists, but I mean, I remember you killed the one on the stairs pretty quickly, and then walked up, and then we kind of like fought on top of the clock, and you never really got close to anything. So I remember we were like each in a corner.
Oh. I was close to stuff. I just had stuff I wanted to do instead of getting hit points, I think. But I don't know.
Looking over.
Look at the other map, and if Null's not adjacent to someone, then they probably weren't using spores.
Well, we already moved all of the cultists around because role-playing of them scribbling in their friend's blood because Artemis told them to.
Yeah.
You
But
did
yeah.
not. You did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this doesn't change anything.
All right then.
Watch the video.
Thanks. Yeah, I could have. Is it not enough that I subscribed? Have to watch your stuff?
Wait, babe, what are you doing?
Watch the video if you wanted. If they can watch the video.
No,
Right.
you rubbed your wounds. Oh no, this is older. Okay,
A
never
while
mind.
ago.
Yeah, a while
Uh,
ago.
Kermit, your turn.
Okay. Last level 2 slot of the day. Can I get a dexterity save first?
You may. 17.
Seriously? Seriously? Okay. Well, still, I'll draw the square real quick. Since I'm trying to make. I think this is 20 feet. Anyways, casting webs just fill the room. Gronin gets out of the way, but he will still be slowed a bit while he's in there because it's difficult terrain.
All right. So as you strum your banjo, your fingers pull off of the strings as it gives ethereal extensions from it, and you weave it into a large web, and you fling it forward into a large net as
Mhm.
it lands before them. All right.
So I guess Nala just sees a bunch of white, sticky stuff coming from on high to cover the dead Sphinx.
Yep, the Sphinx is caught in it too.
Yeah. Kermit's a necrophiliac, confirmed.
So Gronin is going
Says
to
the
take a
incest
step
baby.
here.
Reaction at the beginning of his turn for a con save.
Right.
Fails.
This time.
Less advantage. Yep, 4 necrotic damage.
All right. So he is going to take 2 swipes at you, Nala. 22,
Okay.
24,
Both of those hit. How much damage?
12, and 9.
Okay, 21 total.
And then he's going to glare down at Artemis, orb in hand, and say, "You'll not get away from me again!" and he flings it down. I need to freaking just keep this in the same tab. There. Okay. I keep closing his character sheet.
Uh,
17. Alright. As it
Easy.
impacts the ground next to you, it unleashes a large flurry of ice shards that just barely graze your skin. Leaf, your turn.
Is Nala still standing?
yeah, she's still standing. I was joking about
Okay.
3 hit points earlier.
You scared me. I mean, you've still gotten hit a lot, so I think.
Yeah, healing would be appreciated, but yeah, I don't know.
Actually.
Am I within the range of... Okay, so technically it would be 24 plus 8, 32. Could I die next... Oh yeah, I could die, or I could be knocked down next turn if I don't get healing.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out which one is the strongest that I have on me. I guess that would just be the normal cure wounds. But
Cool.
I'll cast it. I have to cast it at 3rd level. So you're hopefully getting
Oh.
a lot.
Yeah, is that 3d8 plus 5?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have to program that in chat, or...
I got it.
Oh, cool. 15. Nice. You rolled 2 1s on that.
But I
Yeah,
did.
no,
but I
15's
have a
still good, though.
large addition.
Cool.
At least you get so much even with me rolling ones.
No, yeah, that's the benefit of upcasting, yeah.
Artemis,
Nala
your
no
turn.
longer looks like she's going to die in the next 6 seconds.
Yay. Good. Now what to do?
That was an
I
action. Do you have stuff for bonus action?
I have one bonus action, but I don't
Wait.
know if I can do it. I don't think I can because it's technically another spell, so never mind. But I mean, she can do an item interaction. She'll pull out
Oh, did
she'll
Gronin
pull out
make a
Hush.
dex save for starting their turn in the web area?
No, like they passed their dex save, so they're not
Yeah.
restrained. It's just difficult terrain at that point.
Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or that enters them during its turn. So that's referring not to being in the area at the start of your turn, but like, oh, you got knocked in there or you moved in there, make the check.
Let's see. Am I missing something?
Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or that enters them during its turn.
Well, I already have to make the save during the
Oh,
when
yeah,
Terminator
so
cast
it was out of
so
turn, so... Okay, yeah, never mind,
yeah,
yeah.
but still,
Sorry, B, or
I appreciate the help.
Sage, did you end up doing anything with your bonus action?
I was just gonna do an item interaction and pull out a weapon, but I couldn't. I'm still trying to think of what weapon to pull out because I think the best might be just her quarterstaff,
That's
which
fair.
is kind of yeah. I guess she'll pull out. No, I guess she'll pull out her crossbow instead, so that way she can. Could I bonus action shoot at him? I don't think I can.
You cannot now.
Yeah. She has the flute and her crossbow out.
Artemis, you're up.
End of the war. Alright.
You can see him from there, yes. He went there so that we could throw an orb at you. Miss. Hit. That's 24. No, that's 22. Never mind. Alright. Wait, I thought you only do bolts when you do the dash action.
I do anything. I can dash, disengage, or hide, and I do both. So I'm going to dash and just stand there.
That's not dashing, though.
I
You
just
take the
I just
dash
get-
action
Yeah,
to
dash
use
action
no
gives you an
movement.
extra 30 for a movement. If you want, I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll just do 25. I'm done. Cool. I did it. This gives you an extra 30 feet of movement. It does.
That seems kind of cheap, but okay.
I mean, why is it? This is dashing. Why you can dash if you want.
Yeah, but dash usually involves movement.
Dash just allows you to move more.
But you're not moving.
Artemis just did the gymnast, or so you know how some basketball players will like, are those Murphys or? I'm imagining Artemis literally just running around in circles because all this energy.
Alright.
Or did that make any sense whatsoever?
Not necessarily.
Oof.
Okay. Now your turn.
Cool. No, I don't know if I've ever used this spell in this campaign yet, but Nala casts Infestation. He needs to make a con save.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know if you've actually used it. You may have talked about it.
He fails, so I'm gonna need you to roll a d8, or it's either a d8 or a d. Okay, I need to actually find the things again. So he gets forced in a random direction, and I want him to fall off, but he could theoretically just get back in the web. He can't move towards Nala
Alright, so
because that's
well, it
blocked.
should be
So
D7 then.
okay, no. So it says roll a d4 for directions. So it's only orthogonal directions. If it's the one towards Nala, I'm gonna. So the flavor of this is that she like threw some bugs on him. So that says south.
Okay.
That's 5 feet.
And I guess
I think that
they
was
need
2d6 poison, or was that supposed to be 1d6? Yeah, it was supposed to be 2d6. I had it do 2d6. That's good. Move 5 feet in a random direction if it can move up to its speed at least. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So if he would have gone towards Nala, he would have just not moved, but he moved south, so he got into the webs. So I believe that means that there's another web check,
I believe you are correct.
or that enters them during its turn. No, there's not a web check right now. Okay, so that was an action. So bonus action, healing word on herself. And then that'll be it.
Alright. Kermit, your turn.
Nice.
Kermit.
Yeah, just angling myself.
Okay.
He hops down and opens fire. Using Oz this time.
Also, if you don't want me to do the dash, I can always just disengage or hide.
Yeah, I was thinking you could hide behind the pillar spike.
Yeah, I don't want to hide from him though. I want him to keep looking at me.
22 to hit
That hits.
for minimum. Oh wait, and I roll 1d6 because of the sneak attack. Because Nala's right next to it, so 9.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and can I get a con save?
Con save. 5.
Takes another 7 poison damage.
Oh, did your
He
racial damage go up?
No. Here, I'll post it. So just need to read the second paragraph. You can also apply this to a poison of any piercing weapon as part of
Yeah,
an
I
attack.
thought that it was a D4 before. I didn't think it was 2D4.
No, it's always been 2d4.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Alright,
Yeah.
so Chronomancer's turn. He's make a deck save, correct?
Yep.
Alright.
Fails and is restrained. And after that, he'll need to make strength checks since he's already caught in the web. And those will be with disadvantage because of the hex.
Alright.
Wait, we accidentally did synergy.
Nope, that was not accident.
No. Oh, okay. So, like, at the very least, impromptu between the first thing, but the infestation thing was accidental.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was a chance.
Because I was just trying to make him walk off the ledge. Because I've been fantasizing about doing that to somebody since the beginning of the campaign. But
So as the spiders and maggots are crawling over his skin, he tries to get up, tugs against the webs, fights against it, gets tangled up, and is like, "You will all die screaming!"
the spider bites his tongue.
Murderer.
It is now Leaf's turn.
Yeah, at this point, it's starting to look like everyone can handle this. He's tangled up, and I'm sure Artemis is gonna get up here and do her thing, finishing him off and all that. So Leaf is, gonna stand back, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I have anything that I want to do. Yeah, no one's... I mean, I can try this. You did say she was already dead, so I doubt it'll work, but, let me double check.
Somebody already cast a healing spell on her.
Yeah, I was gonna cast Spare the Dying.
Yeah, so Spare the Dying, if a healing spell would work, then Spare the Dying would work. But a healing spell didn't work, so Spare the Dying wouldn't work.
Okay, never mind then. Then, yeah, I guess Leaf will just stay behind Nala with crossbow ready in case he does get loose, and do another healing light on her. So, she's only, I guess she's holding her main action and just healing Nala. So,
Oh, cool. Is that a D6?
yep, it's another one. God damn it! Healing light, why can't you be useful sometimes?
No, it's fine. Now my health total it ends in a 0 now, so it's fine. It's useful.
And Nala's dead.
I said it ended in a 0.
Exactly.
Well, I guess technically
But no.
everyone's hit points end in a 0, because when you hit 0, you drop, but...
Artemis, your turn. Still alive.
I can't see him now, though.
Yep,
You cannot
and you have
see.
advantage on attacks.
But you cannot see him from where you're at currently.
The stairs, I dash the stairs, and I puke.
When you get to the top, you'd probably notice that he's stuck.
Shoot him while he's stuck.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, so in case that changes, if Artemis would run away again or not.
I'm running so he can chase me.
Well, if he's stuck, he can't chase you.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Stepbro, help.
Oh no.
That
Why? They're actually siblings, no!
That's why there's a step in between.
But they are not!
Jesus fucking Christ.
That is a hexblade crit.
Holy shit!
Yep.
I
Hexblade.
crit on 19s and 20s right now.
Mhm.
So it's 20, second was a 19.
Alright then.
Still
Artemis.
impressive.
How does it feel to be better than Champion Fighter in every way?
Yeah, wait for it, wait for it.
How do you want to do this?
I can get my third crit. There it is, third crit. There you
Oh
go.
my fucking god!
I feel like that's cheated. Roll again.
Spike!
I had to finish it off properly, right? I mean, come on.
How'd you
did
do that, though?
know, though?
It was like he was guessing. It was a 10% chance,
You
but
just,
more
you
than
just
that.
know sometimes. I mean, come on, look at the situation.
Holy
Artemis is killing me.
shit!
Oh, what the
Look at
hell?
how
You're
another
just one
hexblade.
lucky motherfucker.
I'm
Yeah,
so lucky I
definitely
critted
helped
the
with
dead
the-
body.
I need to tweet this to freaking roll 20. Like, what the hell?
Okay, let's see if
Really?
Kermit
Okay,
is
first
alive.
off, that he didn't chase her.
No,
First off,
he does
I
not
had
get that.
advantage on all 3 of them, and 2 of them I got 19s and not 20s. So, you know.
It's still
And-
impressive.
And 2 of them were because of advantage.
Still.
Damn.
I just throw a bunch of darts at him, and then when he hits the ground, I just run up and start stabbing him, just like into his body. And then after I stab him a bunch of times in his chest, like it was like all cut up and open, I hold out Blood Weeper over his body with full of his blood, like covered in blood, and I just like hold it out and you see like this wispy essence stuff. As technically the second part of Hexblade Curse comes out as I absorb his soul and heal myself if I was hurt, but I didn't fall, so I didn't get hurt. So like meh, whatever.
Leaf stares on, like just not sure if in shock, horror, repressed, just staring.
Like I absorb his soul into Blood Weeper to get stronger.
I have to run and use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Mom's got here. I gotta get the
I
door.
also
Right.
need to go to the bathroom.
Give me a minute.
And I was making a joke because of step siblings, because Artemis keeps going up and down the steps.
Sure you were.
No, I just thought it was a perfect. I thought it was a perfect start
Sure.
of coincidences, just like the crits.
Let's see, that's a 13 plus a 23 plus a 20. 56. That's 81 damage that Artemis just did.
Nice.
How?
3 crits.
Fucking hell. Alright, so with Gronan's last breath, he looks Artemis dead in the eyes and just spits in her face.
What did I come back to?
Well, more than just a spit will be an Artemis.
Yeah, as Gronan is taking his last breath, he just hawks up a loogie and just spits it right in Artemis' face.
You.
I'm back.
Oh,
Is Gronan alive?
fuck no!
Okay, who spit in Artemis's face?
Gronan.
It was
With
it was
his
with his
quote.
last breath.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, Kermit walks up to this thing, nudges its wing.
He like this like turns to like a desecrated like corpse or something. So like he just like gets absorbed because like Highlander stuff where I absorb his powers kind of.
His body is still there, but it's now kind of like an empty husk shell.
Something like that.
Leaf puts her crossbow back on her back and puts her flute away and just is like staring at the guy like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
Come here, Lana.
So like I guess like Artemis looks a little bit more refreshed. Maybe she looks a little bit more shinier right now, or a little bit more odd-like. I don't know, like right, like just some kind of
Does she have afterglow?
something, right? Who knows? something like that, right? Doesn't know, like she became stronger.
Step bro, that went way too far.
So eventually I'm gonna have action, so we should do that again. Twice in a row.
Hmm. Let's see. Kermit does want to, without messing crit from last time, has anything changed about the Sphinx's condition?
Uh,
Artemis Kermit's like, whew, that felt good. I feel like I need a cigarette now or something.
The Sphinx is laying motionless on the ground, laying in a puddle of its own blood.
Right. It was motionless before at the start, but Kermit said it was in critical condition.
Yes.
What has anything changed about it as far as its features last time?
Well, when you first saw it, it was in critical condition. But then you started to turn, and then when it ran around, she had died then.
Okay.
Actually, no. Okay, so when I showed you that reaction I had for when a creature dies within 10 feet of me, did the Sphinx die within 10 feet of me, or did it die as we started combat?
Well, you were here, and you went towards it, and you had left. I'll say it was just out of range.
Okay. Because, like, I also healed it during my first round of combat, too, I could have sworn.
No, you went straight for the attack.
But during the first round of combat, like, it was the same turn.
Let's see.
I'm just trying to figure out when the Sphinx died, because, yeah, it was obvious that the Sphinx was out of range for Null's thing. Also, it wouldn't affect the Sphinx, because the Sphinx is too big.
Oh,
But
From what I can see in the first turn, after Artemis did her first shots in Demigod, Nala, the only thing that she had said, like little pop-out thingy thing, was symbiotic entity.
And
So I don't think
healing
you-
word as a bonus action.
I don't see that.
Underneath.
healing word.
Because I
Is
saw
it
on my-
underneath? That's
it's-
right. You had asked if you could cast it, and you did cast healing word on her. I
Yeah.
remember that we did allow it in the first turn. Yeah.
What about it?
We were trying to figure out when the Sphinx died, because Kermit confirmed before combat that it was really close to death, and then we were figuring that it died during the combat, but we didn't know when.
Did it die during Artemis's first turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Got this correctly. Yeah, Artemis went, and then the Sphinx died.
Kinda sucks to roll a high initiative to just die.
I really felt bad for the Sphinx on this one.
Kermit doesn't care. Oh well. I guess Kermit just takes off the shoes of the husk and kind of puts it to the side of the mother. There we go.
I mean,
You guys want to, like, I don't know, bury her or something?
I mean, I didn't
I don't
say
know if we
anything
should-
about burying.
I don't know if she'd want to be buried, but maybe you should put them back in her den, as if it's like a resting place. You know, I think that'd be respectful.
I'm not all that, strong.
If we move her
Yeah.
together, we should be able to do it.
It's the right thing to do, though. And, Nala casts Enhance Ability on Leaf and herself,
Mm-hmm.
because neither of us are strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think technically you're stronger than me, but yeah. Both of us
Then-
have advantage on strength checks as we try to.
We're just pulling her back and down in there. So
I'll say that you
Yeah.
managed. I'll say that with both your strength combined, you do manage to pull her into her den and set her, the remains of her cubs, down next to her.
Now, I'm kind of worried about those. Well, no. Nala doesn't know about that, so. Scavengers are probably going to get to her, which is fine, honestly. It's just the circle of life.
Yeah.
Can we just a hole where her house is, and maybe they can just like entomb her inside of her little hole?
Is it a
You
smart
have
idea?
explosives?
I can do explosives. I am pretty cool.
Honestly, yeah, that might not be a good idea, too.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, this is. It may make the whole area unstable.
Hmm.
Leaf, you would notice that the cave where you set them in now has a faint glow thanks to your eyes. And you would all notice that it quickly goes dark around you. Like the sun suddenly just dropped.
Leaf turns to look for the acorn that the guy dropped earlier.
The walnut?
Yeah.
I think the busted nut is, like, to the left of his dead body.
Does that seem to be doing anything? If Leaf can see
It
it?
just has a very weak black color emitting from it. It seemed to have had darkness cast upon it and then put into the walnut shell.
Okay. But it doesn't seem to be reacting to whatever is going on around us right now.
It is not. And then you all quickly hear the sound of rushing water.
Guys. Leaf starts flying.
Okay. Nala's gonna try to keep pace, but you fly faster than her, so she's...
She's just flying straight up into the air.
Yeah, but you're, like, up there faster. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
So you two look down and you see that the entire area around you quickly seems to be flooding out of nowhere, coming from the river canal, as the water rises higher and higher and higher up. And as it gets further, and as it gets further, the beams of light that you can see start shooting out and connecting into star-like shapes all around you.
Something's going on. Is the water stopping at this platform?
Yeah, the water is stopping at that platform.
Okay.
What?
Does this have something to do with the death of the Sphinx?
Why wouldn't that happen earlier?
It's a very good question.
Maybe it has something to do with nighttime?
We were here at the night
Are we underwater?
before.
You're not underwater.
Okay,
About
but these are the
them?
lines you're talking about?
Yeah, these are the lines that I was talking about. The water is still at that level.
Okay.
Zips up the banjo, no longer playing Cruel World?
The song finished, so he zipped up the banjo then. I was listening to it as everyone was talking.
Oh,
He
fair
doesn't want
enough.
his banjo to get wet.
Yeah. Still looking for something to help against that.
I mean, our raft is on the other side of the water.
Oh yeah, is that like flowing loosely? Just like, oh, not up against sand anymore.
It's just bobbing up in the water.
Hmm.
Okay. Is there
Well,
anything in the water? Other
There
than the
seem to just
lights?
be ethereal fish swimming around in it. And
Leaf turns
Leaf?
back to look into the cave.
Leaf, you would see that there is a ghostly four-legged figure standing, as well as three little sets of smaller creatures running up from down below the water towards them.
I'm back. I kind of heard most of it, but my mom came with stuff, and she's trying to kill me with food.
What?
Trying to kill you with food?
Yeah. She's like, you ever had a Jack in the Box before? I'm like, no. She's like, good, because I bought you like one of everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, here's 2 giant bags of food. Have fun. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So it seems like you're gonna gain
Jealous.
instead of lose weight
Food.
this trip. Sounds like.
Leaf and Nala, I would... Actually, no, Leaf, you would not need to make one. Flying this high up and looking down at the lines and star constellations and connections that's in the light, you would recognize that it mimics the image of Cain's positions and coordinates.
Interesting. Okay. And then where the lions or the Sphinx spirits going?
The Sphinx spirits are going into the cave. The smaller ones are towards the larger one, as it's standing up and welcoming it into its embrace.
And they're just in the cave?
They're just in the cave.
Okay. Leaf's gonna pull out paper and draw the constellations.
This is looking all cool. This is like disappointed, it looks like.
Nala lands because there wasn't actually any problems.
Leaf was worried that everything was gonna flood. Sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, so after drawing the constellations and comparing it to the map, it looks like it gives a bit of an X marks the spot feel towards the northwest.
So
The
would
opposite
Leaf
way
recognize
of we're
the...
going. And that would be towards the oasis.
So
No. Northwest
north-
would be more towards... Let me pull up the map for you.
Yeah, so the northwest of the continent is like the sand wound.
Well, I was meaning just from where we were. Northwest would head towards. Well, I guess not the oasis. I mean, it's a little
Well,
bit.
you are here.
Actually, yeah, I guess northwest is like over
Oh, we're
here.
out here.
You are right there. Yes.
Oh, here.
Okay. So
The initial
northwest is over
exit-
here?
The initial exit that you were supposed to come out of was here, and northwest is more so here.
Oh, I'm.
So it's
I'm.
pointing at an island?
Yes.
It's like a treasure map or something. Pirates now.
Actually, this could be pointing us towards something really important. I mean. Well, I don't know if this has anything to do with the Sphinx, considering I think that they're just spirits here. This seems like something else.
They usually guard like things and ask for riddles to get through them or something.
I mean, it might be worth checking out. I don't want to leave something just because we don't know. I mean, how long have we been in the Scarab's Wings? Or how long has it been since we know that the thing got put down?
It has been 2.5 days.
So we have time. We have a few more weeks to do this. And how long does it take to get from Scarab's Wings to? We're going to Coconut Cove, right, for the job for
To drop it
procurement?
down?
Yeah, walking.
Weeks because we have to be within time for the crystal.
And we have 2 weeks for that.
Yeah, 1 week if it's poorly maintained, 2 weeks if it's well maintained.
And it lasted 2 weeks on the ship before.
It's how long has it been since we put it there?
2 days.
2.5
Two and a half days.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long does it take to get from Scarab's Wings to Coconut Cove, B?
Walking there, it takes about 3 days. Taking the river, it takes 1 day.
So yeah, that's not very long either. So we could technically go up towards the islands for a day and then make our way back to the oasis and take the river down. Because I know that we needed to stop by the Oasis because that's where Ember's pants are gonna be, and we were meant to meet up with Nala there, but Nala met up with us before we got a chance to go back.
Can confirm.
But
Oh, Nala. No.
As you are having this conversation, the Sphinx ghost roars upwards towards you as it goes deeper into the cave. As the earth trembles and shakes as columns of rock and sandstone crumble down and break off, sealing them in as the formation takes form afterwards into a large Sphinx statue.
you know what? That I think we did the right thing by putting them back in there.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, hello. I'm guessing that Leaf would have probably flown out a bit as this formed.
It just
And
wants
yeah.
to boop you with its nose.
It would also have crushed Darren underneath its mighty paw.
Gorin?
No, he's no,
Gronin, sorry.
Gronin. Yeah.
no, he's forever entombed here too.
Get stepped on, scrub.
I'm gonna put drawing a constellation map. There we go.
And as the sun returns back for you all, the water has receded back.
Is it sunset or past noon still?
To you, Leaf, it looks like no time has passed. Although it feels like it has.
So that was a spiritual thing that just happened. I don't know if we crossed into a different plane or what, but that was odd.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would explain why we saw ghosts. Okay. No, that makes sense. Okay.
It makes me all the more curious as to what they're leading us to, though.
Apparently it's something useful.
Hopefully.
Spiritually related, I guess.
Well, we have
So,
the map and we can check it out if we want to later.
I'm back, but Artemis is like, yeah, standard magic stuff. Treasure maps, cool stuff like that.
I mean, yeah. Involves dead animals. Checks out. Hey, Kermit, before you run off there, I know we were talking a while ago about how you needed to take someone to Coconut Cove. Did you want to do that before we try to go figure out a ghost sphinx treasure hunt?
Yes.
Okay then. I guess we should do that then.
Oh, excuse you, Spike.
Excuse.
Oh, sorry.
So, yeah, I guess we should go do Kermit's thing now, guys.
Well,
Where's the Kermit thing at?
yeah, that's the thing. They're in opposite directions, but the Sphinx thing is closer.
We're already kind of out here, so should we go do the Sphinx thing, then go back to town, grab her, then leave?
That's what I was thinking we
So-
would do.
Yeah, so we'd have to do this. So, yeah. It's right there. X marks the spot.
Coconut Cove? Oh, on the other side. Okay, so yeah, so we go back, get her, then go do this, then drop her. I think go to the Sphinx thing. And either way, right? If we're going back to the Oasis anyway, like it's gonna be the same thing, right? Actually, go to Crystal Cove or
Coconut Cove.
where's I'm looking at Crystal. Which one?
Coconut Cove is on the bottom.
I marked what we should probably do. All the way at
Coconut
the
Cove's on
bottom.
South. We're in
Fort
Scarab's
Glass.
Wings.
Or Scared Wings. I read Fort Glass. I'm a dumbass.
So we're literally right here, but Yeah.
We're here with
Either way, yeah, we go back to the Oasis. We get her. We go back to the Oasis. We go off. Then we go back up and then go do Spink's thing, and then we teleport the ship. Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we'll make it go faster.
Go Burr.
Hmm.
Does Nala know if she's supposed to give back her temporary Scarab's pass when she leaves Scarab's wings? Or if, like, anything's stopping her from just keeping the thing she bought?
Leaf still technically has hers because she didn't even get a chance to return it because she went to the hourglass when she had it.
Is it supposed to be a temporary pass? I thought you just get it and then you have it, and it's sort of like, oh, you bought the rights to enter this part of town. Thank you for your taxes.
I have you said I have an emerald one now, B? Property, I got one. Fancy one.
Correct on yours, Spike. You have a permanent one since you now own property in Scarab's Wings. Nala, yours is a much lower quality that is compared to Artemis's, and you do see that on the sides of it are some enchanted writings.
A tag you be like, where is that?
Basically, an expiration date.
How long does the temporary one last then?
It seems to be expiring within 7 hours.
You have an all-day pass for Friday, and it's about to be Saturday.
I guess, yeah. Well, I only have another 7 hours there. How's everyone else's passes going?
Several.
Mine would probably already be expired by now then.
Oh, Artemis, I didn't know you were carrying everyone's passes.
I have my own.
And you have several? That
Yeah,
doesn't seem very, like, much sense.
Go to different places. Colors. I gotta catch them all. I mean,
What?
That caught Kern's attention.
pocket
It's
monsters.
because it's catching things. He has to keep on that bounty.
Where I come from, where they have these things called like pocket monsters. They're basically slaves.
Got
And
it.
catch them, you make them fight each other in pits and stuff, and for your amusement, and then we yell at them, and they do things.
Gotta
horrible.
catch 'em all. Bounty mon.
I mean, I know they ain't magical, but I know some cockfight rings.
That's all of this sounds like cruelty.
See, when magical ones, it's cockatrice fighting rings.
Actually, I think I heard about a few things like that. I did not know they called them Pokemon. Well, pocket monsters. Typically, they're kept in cages. Oh, wait, do they have, like, pocket dimensions? That's the case? I see.
Eat them.
Oh, crap, I did want to... on Gronon's body, I meant to do this, but totally forgot.
Yeah, there's still time to take a leak.
No. That bear cloak he had on, is that already prepped? Like, or is that just raw hide?
It was already prepped and everything.
Okay. So,
But you wouldn't have had. You couldn't have gotten it now because it's now buried beneath the large paw that is the Sphinx.
okay. Well, no, I kind of was thinking about adding insult to injury, but that's fine.
All the food.
Don't eat all the food, babe.
Didn't, but I still ate a lot of it. Threw it away, so I feel double bad. I threw away a bunch of food, and I ate too much.
Hmm.
You're gonna have some very icky poopies.
So many onion rings.
Why didn't you like save it for later or something?
like this. It was real greasy, and like I don't know how much to like warm up.
Mhm.
It
Could no one else have eaten it then?
I mean,
Yeah, everyone they just handed me food and left.
that's called free napalm, my friend.
Mom was like, you don't want to hang out with us as a camper, do you? And I'm like, I mean, I don't really care. She's like, I'm gonna get you a hotel, and I'm like, okay. So a campground with her camper, and she put me in a hotel. Rather internet
Does,
stuff.
is Little Caesars the best fast food to reheat?
I actually really like Little Caesars breadsticks and cheese sticks.
I don't mind Little Caesars. It's just reheated. I don't really like it.
Oh no,
I
it
like
tastes
it when it's
completely
fresh.
different. Yeah.
Back on topic.
Yeah.
Okay, not
I
everyone has it.
refuse.
Right.
But-
So I mean, I know a few of these pocket monster
Oh my god, this is
packages.
not on topic though!
I mean,
It's just sad that this is what's on topic.
that's what we were talking about in character.
Oh
Well,
my.
it basically is. We're just talking about how we enslave these other
Are we-
species,
Yeah.
sentient species, and make them fight for our amusement. I mean, that happens technically.
So are we
Yes.
headed towards?
Mm.
Wait, are we Pokemon?
Are we leaving towards the island? Is that what we're doing? Is
Looks at
are
you,
we
Kermit,
walking and
like-
talking?
It actually might be a Pokemon.
Kermit's walking back towards Scarab's wings and is trying to lead us back there. That's what's going on, Sage.
Yeah, we're heading back to
Yeah.
talking about Pokemon.
Yes.
But wait, okay, I don't understand why we're gonna go back to
The-
pick her up to do this.
Because
It
I
just
mean-
seems-
yeah,
it seems like it's easiest to just go here and then go pick her up, go to the Oasis, and go down.
oh yeah, it
We're
would
gonna go
be-
pick her up. Then we're heading to the Oasis. Then we're gonna drop her off. Then we're going back up to the.
Why?
Wait,
She has
why
a
would we
safe
drop her
place
at
in
the
Scarab's
Oasis?
wings.
Because Kermit has a job to do, and if he has to go alone, he will. The thing about the
I mean,
this
the
will
thing
be
is,
here
Prez,
for
why
maybe
split
a
up the
week.
party like that?
Hold
Why
on, hold
can't
on, hold on.
we're not gonna?
Hold on. So if this thing is going to be available for a week, we go over there, we take the river down for a day, and then when the river has to turn directions, we can take a day to go back up here and go in there. So we'll be there well within a week. I'm saying as far as Kermit's priorities go, he is a professional and tries to make sure things get from point A to point B fairly quickly. He's already sidelined some of the tasks, one for the Sphinx and another for Artemis.
It makes more sense to do this one first. I mean, why don't we do this one first? I mean, we have to. There's no point of coming all the way back to Scarab Wings to get her after we go do the Sphinx thing. If we can get her now and then go do her thing, we don't want to take her with us on the Sphinx thing because she might die. So
yeah. So
the smartest thing is to pick her up first, and then because we have her, the next thing is because they're both gonna take time. Like they're not not either one of them's not like on the way to the other one. So I mean, we're gonna be going the Oasis to either one of them. So we might as well just go do her first and then come back down.
the
Going
argument
down
to do the Sphinx thing is that we're closer to the Sphinx thing than we are to Coconut Cove, so we spend less time traveling if we do this thing first.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought the Sphinx thing was in Crystal Cove for some reason.
No.
No.
Crystal Cove is Kermit's thing.
Yeah, okay, so
Coconut
yeah,
Cove,
you
okay.
should do that anyway because we're heading that way because we have to go back in the hole, which is right next to there. We are is right next here, so technically we should just go and do that. Like right here, right? So we just go there, then go back down, and then go back here, and then go there, and then go do
Well, I think there's the underground passage connects here, I think.
Okay.
somewhere.
Oh, wait.
Either way, it's like the same distance almost to the Sphinx.
Here's
back
what
here.
it is. You are currently here, or rather, here. You went out a separate exit from the one that Bren told you about. This was the initial exit. So you're here.
Oh.
We're
That's
not going to.
Crystal Cove.
We're going to Coconut Cove down here.
Crystal Cove, and you said it was Kermit's thing, so I thought we were going there.
No, I've been saying
We
Coconut
misspoke.
Cove a lot.
Coconut.
The opposite way, same thing, but triangle goes
Yeah.
out. Yeah, like that. Sure. I think that's fair, seeing as it's almost the same distance, and it'll be a lot of backtracking if we don't do it this way.
Okay, so do we want to do the in-character stuff to talk about that then? Because it seems like...
Yeah. Kermit's smart enough to realize that it's a waste of time if we don't do it this way. We'll talk to him though.
Which way?
To go just to do the Sphinx thing now. It would be treasure.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be faster if you could explain how close it is.
Treasure too. So I mean.
All right.
Okay.
We're less than a day's travel to the Sphinx thing right now. We are at least a day's travel away from Coconut Cove.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense to go do the Sphinx thing first, so that way we don't have to do a lot of backtrack.
I don't know how much you're getting paid for bringing a girl somewhere, but I mean, buried treasure is usually.
Artemis, it's not about the job; it's about the principle.
You're being paid interest for this?
No, that I am not. No, principle. There's a difference between simple interest and principal. Principal is the amount that is owed. The
Yeah,
interest is what comes on top of it.
Like if you're being paid like 100 gold to kill someone, the guy's like, "Hey, how about I give you 200 gold not to kill him?" But you're like, "It's the principle."
Right.
Anyway.
Exactly. Though, if you can find a loophole around it, I'm not too. What's the word I'm looking for?
Oh,
Do
you're
against
getting,
it.
you're getting buried treasure. Plus, you can go do. She's still staying safe.
You weren't given a time frame on when you had to deliver her, right?
Right. I'm just thinking about those cultists. How quickly they were able to get the orb, the
It is
globe.
good.
Hold on. Yeah. So I'm thinking if this is the issue of if we leave somebody alone for long enough, like just about an hour or so, a whole cultic ritual can uprise. How long it's going to take for a bunch of thieves to, well, assassins in this case, to go and swoop down a girl where all I have protecting is a kitty cat?
I hope that the assassins aren't as organized as the cultists. Are like
Cultists?
Yeah, that's how the hourglass got damaged.
I don't.
Some
What?
cultists of Basalt. I guess it's technically just like clerics at this point, because I mean it's an established religion. But yeah, they found the hourglass in a trash can and took it to a clock tower and tried to sacrifice it to Basalt to completely destroy time itself, as far as I can tell, at least.
You have the hourglass now, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
considering
do.
I was with you, but like,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Why was it in the trash?
I don't know. Why was it in the trash?
because I don't have enough pockets to carry an hourglass.
Do you want me to just carry it in my hand for the next 3 hours or until we get to Sphinx Island? I'll do that.
Hey,
Okay.
I need my hands to kill things and to flirt.
Artemis, if we get you a backpack, can you promise not to just leave the hourglass out alone if you were left alone with it?
I'll put it in a backpack, but I wouldn't be carrying the backpack.
Why won't you carry the backpack?
I have to carry a backpack. I can easily
It
buy
can-
a backpack.
It can strap to your back. Why won't you carry it?
I have a backpack. You guys look like.
How about a purse? Side
With
saddle
your-
bag.
Still looks kind of dorky.
Wait,
Bag
didn't you
that
just
is,
order a...
How
I
about
thought you just set a special order for a pocket, though. Like a pocket
Pockets are
dimension
cool.
pocket.
I can put like a back pocket. I can put my hand in my back pocket. It's really cool.
No, it might not be a smart idea to put thing that seems to have a pocket dimension into another pocket dimension. That's how tears in space happen. Otherwise, I'd have no objections. How about like one of those like bags that straps to you with belts and buckles?
Why can't
Are you okay with that?
Why can't? Why are you making me carry your crap?
Because the thing is we have no control over going in there, but we don't want it just left out and about where it can be stolen or damaged. So if you get left alone with it, can you please just make sure that it doesn't get stolen or damaged if we get you a bag to put it in?
Fine. Here's the deal. If I'm the only person, I'll hold it.
Hermit, can you make sure that it doesn't get damaged or stolen if you're with Artemis? Please? I will pay you.
That one.
Hermit,
What did you try to pay him to do?
just make sure that if the hourglass is left with no one else to hold it, that he will make sure it doesn't get stolen or damaged.
It makes me special.
Hmm.
Want anything that has any power over me? Stuff.
Hmm. I'll consider it.
Well, that's non-committal.
I'll pay you a platinum for every hour that you're holding it. How about that?
If you want, we can negotiate this deal later.
Okay. But that's
Or when you're
really...
Kermit is a businessman of some respect, but not like Crystal.
But not
He
like Crystal.
Crystal.
Oh, yeah,
Either-
Faith. Or Aegis, yeah.
Yeah. Kermit is, hey, businessman.
So, is Kermit still set on going to Scarab's Wings, or is he okay with going to the one place first?
He's okay with going to the place first because.
So we're heading here?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I just wanted to double check, but continue what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, Kermit's just playing his band show after he says we'll negotiate later.
Yeah, Leaf is like rubbing her temples, stressed out about this. Like, why can't someone just help me?
Amber said it right. I have principles. I am a god. It is not my my job to hold you guys crap.
Ember said he was a god?
God.
How much has changed since I left?
I mean,
Why do I not believe that he said that?
I think he told you. Leave? He told you this.
What?
Okay, so
I,
out of character, what are you
don't
referring
remember
to?
this.
A character, he said, like, she's a god. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. It's not her job to hold my stuff, right? And I was like, yeah.
Oh.
He did not say that you were a god. He said that it was your god's religion.
Pretty sure he's called me a god multiple times, actually.
I think he said that you were trying to become a god.
We'll ask him, I don't care. It doesn't matter either way. Whichever one happened.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what, you have this idea. But
Gestured to me
I
being
don't
a
think
god
Leaf
either
believes
way.
you either way.
Artemis is pretty deceptive either way.
I mean, Nala's
thing
believing
is-
it. Nala's thinking that Ember's like completely changed since she last noticed. Like, what? Huh?
Referred to her as a god thing. So she would just say, like, I mean, he kind of just like called me a god, kind of. So I mean, you know, it's not my responsibility to carry. Either way, he says not my responsibility to carry your guys' crap, which is true. It's not my responsibility. You guys have your own responsibility. Why don't you just hire someone to carry around your stuff? Not a god.
We did just try.
He's like, you can get like a commoner to do this. Hold something, right? I mean, commoners can hold stuff.
I think we'd rather have a friend who we trust hold on to it. And that's the whole principle of me asking you as
Wait, you're
a
saying
friend.
we can't be
Okay,
friends with
okay.
commoners now?
Yeah, I know,
That's
kinda
not what I
classist.
mean. I mean that
Yeah.
I already know and trust Artemis, which is why I was asking Artemis. But
Everyone knows and trusts me, I know. Okay, here, fine. If all the little people get sucked into the hourglass, I won't throw it in the dumpster. I'll put it somewhere safe, like in the inn or something, or whatever, right? I'll put it in a room and lock it up. I just don't want to carry it around.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you, Artemis. And
Remember, me kill my brother, but I mean, I kind of made it boring though.
So, would you prefer us not to do that in the future, or?
Yes, I was trying to play a game with him and stuff, and he wouldn't chase me, and then like he just died like a bitch.
Well, I guess you're just the best.
Yeah, I know.
You're too good for him.
No, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, I shouldn't have got help, and maybe I should went easy on him a little bit, let him get a couple of punches in, like hit me once, so it feels like there's a chance.
I mean,
he starts smiling.
Nala,
He got a few hits in.
he hit Nala.
That's on you like mortals and stuff. I mean, you guys die all the time.
Wait, LaFlutter, have we died before?
Like
the thing with the salt, was that actually us dying?
I don't think so. I think it was more so that we were frozen in time. Not that we were brought back.
You have to ask someone if you died before. That means you can die.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of spells that can bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, mortals in general, they die all the time.
That's not. I don't know how. Like,
it's definitely upsetting that you're thinking like this,
and that you're just so casual about it. If we were to die, would you care at all?
If I get really mad, I would have killed you. Yourself, which I'm in a tough position there because I've had that happen a lot. Where like I was hanging out with did stupid stuff and got themselves killed, and I'm like, should I be mad at them? Should I want to get revenge on themselves for killing themselves? Like that's kind of weird. Yeah, weird predicament. But yeah, as long as you were doing something good and not like stupid, then yeah, I would care.
Wait, do we need to start putting each other on suicide watch? Do you have that effect on people?
I mean, if you're like, but the baby, we must save the baby from the 5 ancient red dragons. I'm like, no, don't. You're gonna die. You look at it, it's already got stepped on. Like, no, we might be able to save it. We might be able to heal it. We gotta check. We're the good guys. And I'm like, you're gonna die if you do that. And you're like, nope, gotta do it. I'm the good guy. And I'm like, good luck. And then you're up and get eaten by a dragon. And I'm like,
there are times to take risks, but I think we're all smart and know when to do that.
That's why I said, just in case you do something stupid like that. I'm not saying you will, but I mean, I don't know, you guys, you mortals and your feelings and stuff get the best of you sometimes. What if the baby was like your son or something? Your mom. What if your mom was a baby?
Artemis, what are you talking about? Oh,
I don't know what your bee and dragon people work.
Wait.
Backwards.
Wait, Nala.
Also, I'm an only child.
I am also an only child, but back to the point of you've never talked about your parents. Nala?
What?
You never talked about your parents before.
Oh, I thought I did after the... Oh, maybe that was before you got out of the hourglass, actually. Or maybe not.
I know you talked to me a little bit about your tribe when we were in Pitfall and with the cube, I believe it was.
Oh, I guess I haven't talked to them or talked to you about them then. Yeah, they have nothing to do with my circle.
I'm sorry to hear about your mom. Was this before even the time travel?
Oh, yeah, no, they died when I was a kid.
I'm
This
sorry.
is really old news.
I'm still sorry. I mean,
my mom and dad are dead.
no, I'm.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what?
Well, same, but sorry. Actually, yeah, your dad was Ball, so what happened with your mom?
I don't know. I think she's dead. I think she died giving birth. I never met her, so I don't know. But I know I was told she was dead.
Oh,
I think giving birth to a bowel spawn kills you. I think I killed my mom.
Nala like curls up a little bit towards Leaf and goes, "Remember to use protection."
Just came out of the womb. Just came out of the womb and already had a body count.
All I know is she had the same color skin as my hair.
Leaf kind of looks perturbed and is like, "Wait, of this form or your natural one?
Or
Do you
Uh,
always use
can you
that hair
just-
color?"
I use it for this body. This is like my go-to body. Like, so my colors are flipped. So my skin color is color of my hair, and my hair color is color of my skin. To throw people off. Never suspect a thing.
I'm trying to remember what. I'm not seeing Artemis's token right now, so I'm trying to remember what the token looks like.
Yeah, I forgot B doesn't do that because it's weird. You should know what your pillars look like.
If you just want to like put your token down on the map, that would be good.
It's a pinkish skin and then like a dusty
Oh.
purple hair.
Yeah, purplish hair.
You have white hair and your skin is pink
Yeah.
or purple, and that's the same with your mom. Huh. So are you a tiefling? Oh, what's that?
Like a cooler tiefling.
Oh,
Isn't Oni also like genie?
No, you're thinking
I thought they
about
were
an Ifrit.
related.
No, you're also thinking about an Ifrit. Or Genie.
Mm.
Or, no, but typically an Ifrit if you're talking about the red skin.
I thought an Ifrit is what Ember was.
No,
He's
though
like a
that is
baby.
fire elemental.
Fire Emblem. No, it was. It sounded like. Oh no, it sounded like Genie actually.
Well, a Genie is usually has much paler skin and
Yeah,
is
he's like a-
associated with the airplane.
He's a Earfried and a Dio, but they're all genies technically.
Oh really?
Four
Oh
of them.
okay.
Ones that the air ones, those guys, they're usually the ones that more are slaves because they're like personality, the whole like go with the flow wherever the winds take them. If they get enslaved, then it must be fate, and there's a slave now. They're perfectly fine with it. Try to enslave a Earfried, and they're probably gonna stab you. But they all can do wishes. That great.
Well, it depends about how powerful they are. Yeah,
So you can trap them in salt. It's weird.
hilarious actually. Though Jebediah did not live to see the day after.
They'll kill
So,
you.
You've
Right.
seen a Genasi
Yep.
or a Genie before?
I go to a college that deals with magical influence. The arcane arts includes interdimensional places. Of course, we would know the planes of the elementals.
Yeah,
And
no,
you
that one makes
mentioned
sense. Yeah.
someone.
Also, Kermit has a passive, like I'm just saying, like passive Arcana of 21. So, like on average, he would roll hard. So this is his jam, more or less.
At worst, you pass a DC 10 check.
Artemis
Yeah.
just knows a bunch of random shitty knowledge about things that is kind of true, but not really helpful in any kind of way. But then also she was like putting bullshit into it too, like you can trap them in salt.
I think it's actually iron. No, wait, I'm thinking of ghosts.
No. You could actually trap them in salt, but you need a lot more than salt. You need like salt and magic and runes and shit like that.
Right. No, I'm thinking of ghosts that needs iron.
Yeah.
I know that fairies burn if you touch them with iron. I think.
In some lore, I'm not sure in D&D that translates.
No.
Hmm.
I think no, that's silver.
Silver is for
5e.
werewolves.
No, I'm thinking if silver was for Fae too, but that is no because I know they're like fake creatures with silver items. Regardless,
I know some lore says that vampires are weak to silver as well, or iron.
Vampires are just anti-Italian.
Vampires, they got enough weaknesses. I don't think they have a silver one.
I'm just saying in different lore, it all depends.
In D&D,
Yeah.
they get burned by running water. They have forebodings. They can't come in places unless they get invited in. Like almost all the stuff except for like garlic and silver.
I don't understand running water one.
Movie.
Well, the Dracula thing was a book first.
Dracula thing, whatever. Book.
Yeah.
and the books differ heavily from the movies, to be honest.
And
So
Christopher Walken, Count Dooku.
Yeah, Christopher Walken's.
That's not Count Dooku.
Or it's not Chris Pratchett.
He's a sir.
No.
He's a knighted.
Christopher Lee, you're talking about.
Yeah. He was Dracula, so it was one of his worst. Yeah, one of his beginning things.
Yeah.
Get hurt by running water. I mean, they just made it up, and it's a thing. Things where there's like, oh, like Superman has weaknesses. We gotta give this guy weakness because he's super strong.
I know I've heard that there was a reason behind it before, but I can't remember what it was.
Also,
Obviously reasons, but yeah.
also, it's also a movie thing that werewolves turn on a full moon. That
Yeah,
was not
there's a
very
lot
cool.
of different lore for different things, and yeah. I mean, hell, even ghosts have different lore and shit. Like,
Yeah.
can
So
go
like, it's
through
one of those
walls,
things.
can interact with things.
We're all talking about like we can actually talk about this in character, kind of interestingly enough, because it's part of D&D lore too. So, like, I guess we're all talking about weaknesses.
Right.
And Arabia's like, hey guys, do you know the best way to kill a Hydra?
No, I believe
Don't you have to?
cauterize the wounds after you chop them off, or go
Yeah, so that
or go right
once-
for the heart.
No. Chop off their heads, they grow 2 heads, right?
Well, unless you use a flame tongue.
Unless you use them on a thing. What you want to, here's what you do. You chop off their dick, so they grow 2 dicks. And you chop those off, so they have 4 dicks. And you chop them off, so you have so many dicks, and then you show them a hot female, like, Hydra, and then all the blood rushes to all their dicks, and then they die. Or pass out, either way.
I don't. I don't.
Wouldn't the Hydra just lose the same thing if they were thinking too hard and they had too many heads?
I don't know. You have to think about something. They might not even speak your language.
And
Okay.
how are we gonna know if the Hydra finds the female attractive?
Do you remember how I made the female go rider, and they were all going for it until they seen Amber's self, I guess? I don't know.
Seems
Actually,
like they're in the
Didn't have
mustard
that much
people.
of
What are
an
you talking about?
effect. Oh yeah, we were in a pit fight.
Oh,
We were Pokemon.
Yeah.
did you have fun?
We
It was
I
lackluster.
I won a bunch of money and bought a temple.
Oh,
Right.
good for you.
That's why I got this thing, hold up the medallion thing again. See, that's why I got this special one.
Kermit slings the giant mass on his back. I got this. And he kind of shakes it around a bit. You just hear jingling.
Reminds me, I have something else to do in town.
Nice.
As Leaf remembers the pit fight, she shivers with fear.
In my
Yeah,
pocket.
fun. What was that?
Pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
I
lifts up her
I
skirt
wanted
dress she's
to
wearing,
get
and
new
she's
bottoms.
like, I need Jill and Taylor right now. She's like smooth like G.I. Joe.
Okay then. That's a weird sight.
If you don't have anything, no one can kick you there. Head, like, smart, right?
I think you can still get kicked. It's just not gonna have the same sensors as genitalia would.
That's the
Right.
point. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's why mine were seat up.
They what?
Frog.
My genitals recede up.
This is a
Oh.
very personal question.
I look at
now,
Noah,
conversation
and I'm like,
now.
do yours not do that? I mean, I look at you like
What would go up?
your people's
I don't know.
a virgin, aren't you? I forgot you. This is like team virgin. Okay. Have you fucked before?
This is a very personal conversation now. Where?
Mm.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a cookie in my mouth.
Yes, we all agree. This is way too personal of a
I
conversation.
mean, my next question could be, wait, are you a prude? And then it'd be like, okay, never mind.
Well, to be honest, it's not really that fun if you have to wear all that latex.
Because because you might melt the person you're. Or,
No.
yeah.
So, my skin
Why are we back here?
gets people weary, which is alright, but they feel like they have sickness throughout the experience.
Oh, and I think it's like, oh, your dick's getting me sick, and it's like, oh, okay.
Right. So, that's kind of why I have to put on. I have to put on some protection.
What if you were with someone of your own kind? Would they still have the same effect?
I don't know. Probably not.
Frog people. Like what?
Just like that obscure Lord of the Rings lore. No, the big women.
I mean, Kermit has been with a couple Goliaths.
Just piggy.
So he does just like big women, yeah. Okay.
He doesn't just like big women. He's, you know what? Unless you guys ask, I'm not gonna say.
All women are big women to him. So it doesn't matter.
Kobolds, goblins, halflings, gnomes.
Yeah.
We were
Dwarves.
headed towards where the constellations put us.
Also, I looked it up, and apparently the running water thing is symbolic of life, and it's supposed to work on most undead creatures, as well as being a way of damping scent trails for, like, if you're being hunted.
All stuff up. I remember Forebodins had one too, why they can't go unless they're being invited in.
This list, I'm on TV tropes right now, and it says vampires, ghosts, knuckleaves, witches, wizards.
I believe you are trying to pronounce Nuka Laves.
Yeah, sure. Univa.
Anyway. I'm just gonna put you back on the actual map of
Oh,
Kane.
sure, but oh yeah. We'll go in
Yeah, we're going.
here.
Alright. So it takes you about an hour or so of walking as you do arrive, and you're now at the coast of Canes. You're on the beach.
How far out is the island?
Not a simple walk away.
Oh, clearly.
Okay, so we should have been able to see this coming, and Nella was concentrating on the strength thing, so can we just say we brought the boat with us?
See, if we had the boat with us, right? Because technically we're
Yeah,
in the boat area.
And the water receded, so we could just walk over and grab it.
Okay, then yeah, you could have brought the boat with you.
Leaf would have helped.
Yeah, as long
Nola
as we know
carry
we're
it.
going to the water.
Alright, so you're right at the beach, boat in hand. I'm gonna get you all boarded, and then you start paddling or sailing your way to it.
Yeah, but the spell ends like 5 seconds before we actually get it like all the way to the water, so we just sort of like crumble and like have to push it off to the side or get crushed or something. Just like barely enough.
Ugh! Now we actually have to like push it in the dirt. God damn it!
Yeah, it's like actually a lot harder too.
Let's see. Could Artemis help in any way?
Are you noodle armed like the rest of us? God damn it!
Does Nala have guidance? Oh, no, it does.
Technically, I might be the strongest. I have a 10 strength.
I have a 10 strength. You and I are just the same strength.
Wait, no, Kermit's the one with, like, less than 10. Okay, yeah, so we 3 are tied with 10, and then Kermit has what Kermit has.
I can cast Unseen Servant that can carry basically nothing, but helping
How are they helping?
and stuff.
Just 3 or 4 people are pushing the canoe, like, just the last 5 feet so we can get in.
Alright.
If you're saying we can cast spells outside of combat for funsies, I cast Unseen Servant 1,000,000 times, and they all can carry like 5 pounds
You
or
can
something.
only cast it once a time, and Unseen Servant cancels out the other past one.
By the way, is an hour considered a short rest?
Yes,
were
an
doing
hour is
stuff.
considered short rest if you're not doing anything excruciating.
Carry.
I think
It has a
5
strength of 2.
pounds.
It has a strength of 2. Carry 10,
So-
can carry 20 pounds technically? Or drag or
So
pull?
what?
Is it 15 times strength score?
That's for
15
carry-
times strength score, but what size is it? Is it tiny? or medium?
Oh, I thought we
So-
figured out that size. Well, no, as tiny would have a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, tiny has the half problem, not
I
small.
don't think he's tiny, but it doesn't say tiny on here.
If a human can do it, it can do it though.
Yeah, like make tea or stuff like that. So let's say it can do 30 pounds.
So if we had a short rest, do I get my spell slots back?
You may have your spell slots back, yes.
Unseen servants be seen.
No.
Here's one
Except
of
for
them.
Sage. Sage can see him, however.
Oh, Sage can see them?
I don't think detect magic will let you see invisible creatures.
Visible, I think they just don't have a shape. I think they're... Are they?
Unseen
Then-
serpent would be invisible.
Leaf
There's
may
I
see it as
remember.
magic, but that might be
Remember in
it.
the Mad Mage they had seen unseen servants. I remember that. Okay, so there was a room with them in there.
Anyway,
Got it.
you get to the beach.
Stepping
Who's
on
going
the
to
beach.
Who's going to be paddling?
That's paddling.
Who's going to be rowing?
Leaf, I guess?
A reference, no one got it.
Alright.
Oh, what did you say? Doesn't row.
Oh, is that from the
I-
people going to the tower?
Yeah.
We're talking.
And
Okay.
so Leaf, you're on one oar or you're on both?
If no one else takes
You
a...
do one, I'll do the other.
Roll
Okay.
something high, like at the fucking like crow's nest, like a fucking captain or something. They're like, land
I
ho.
don't- I don't know if we have a president.
It's a rowboat.
That she put up. She's Captain Morganing on the edge of it or something.
Nala redoes the enhanceability too. So we're slightly less bad.
Alright. Both of you make strength checks. I'm going to roll a dice to see if there's any good wind to aid you in this.
Okay.
Strength check or saving
We have
throw?
advantage.
It is checks.
Okay. We have advantage. A 17 and a 4.
Or a foot tall.
Alright. It's rather calm winds today,
Huh.
as you are doing the majority of the work paddling yourself across. It takes you the better part of 2 hours to make it across, so halfway through your enhanceability would wear off and your just muscles are crying out in pain.
Well, when it wears off, that is time to do that a third time in one day to increase the strength. Unless, hey, we carried the boat and we paddled out this far. Do you guys want to take over?
I was showing up morale the entire time, so I mean...
I've been trying to play the banjo to keep y'all's spirits up too.
I'm pretty sure we're doing a good job over here. Can you play the banjo? Or look some...
I can play the hurdy-gurdy.
He does have a point.
There's just a
about
fish
that.
that pokes its head up.
I
from
mean,
the water.
statistically speaking, that's worse than a banjo.
There's just a fish that pokes its.
Leaf glares at you.
There's a fish that pokes its head up above the water and says, "That's bullshit."
Fish.
And then the fish just swims back down.
Uh,
Kermit, I think you made an anti-fan.
wait. I was gonna say, it speaks and said that's BS.
That's bullshit.
Anyone want some
Oh
fish?
my god!
What did you do to the fish?
He shot it with ice!
So here's what happens. So he shoots it, and then it just sinks down to the water, and then after a moment, it floats back up just in a solid ice cube. You're like, oh,
Oh my god, Kermit!
That
He goes
better
back to
eat
playing
that.
the banjo. I mean, hey, we don't got a fishing rod, so this works perfectly.
Yeah, that's fine, and just don't waste food. Although, if it's sentient,
Technically, animals are sentient if you know the right spell.
I'm not really sure if I heard this correctly. B, did you say the fish was like comedy frozen in ice?
yeah.
Okay. If it's just comedy frozen in ice, it's like Kermit's like, don't worry, it's still alive. Unless you want to eat it.
yeah, let's let it go. And Nala redoes the enhance ability, and we start paddling again. And I did
Alright.
saving throw, but I'm not proficient. So 17 on the strength check for the second leg.
Like, damn, my leg's getting tired of being in this pose.
Leaf's
Alright.
getting tired.
Wait. Yeah.
Go ahead and make another roll.
Oh no.
Gary
Oh,
or
yes.
Kevin.
Another backsassing fish, I swear.
Alright. So as you guys are, paddling everything.
Don't
you
think
go
I'm the
ahead and
right
place your
size.
token. Yeah, that's the right size-ish. I can
You're
resize.
big.
I can resize the.
Is Artemis doing dancing or vocals?
Looking awesome on the corner of the boat.
Oh, okay.
That's a good size for
She's
everyone
like,
to
she's
fit in
like
there.
doing the George Washington, right? She's like on the edge of the boat.
Crossing the Delaware. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
there's a
need you to
pic-
make an acrobatics check, Artemis, since you are at the very edge, as you said.
Where's Kermit?
How
Or
awesome of a
or
performance I'm
athletics.
doing.
Kermit, are you gonna, or Prez, you gonna place your token?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was already down.
You were not.
Okay.
All right. So after a moment, as you guys are paddling and arms getting tired, the ship just suddenly lurches forward into a hard stop.
Oh,
Put more batteries in.
There are
I-
no batteries. We're paddling. Something has
I don't
stopped
think
us.
we got a battering ram anywhere.
Stop being lazy and paddle better.
Leaf
Nala
reaches into the
takes
water
the-
to splash Artemis.
All right.
It just gets on Nala as she's walking towards Artemis. And is like, oh, that was uncalled for.
Sorry.
The thing with her hand is like wipes it off. It's like, damn, Leaf, that's so mean. Why are you throwing stuff at Nala? She's trying to help you.
Wasn't
And
meant for
Nala
her.
tries poking out in front of the ship to see if we hit something. Like, is there a sandbar out there?
Make a perception check.
You like shot the fish and its mom's mad at you now.
I don't know many stories about making fish mad, but I'm pretty sure we'd have to give Kermit up.
Little fish that jump out of the water, they're red and they have like a mom named like Bertha or something.
Alright.
Big.
As you look down, you do see something large and green climb back up to the surface towards you.
Not
Gary or
Persia.
Kevin?
As the water gets breached. Hey guys!
Oh, hello again.
Stop our
Leaf
boat.
is startled at first. What? Sorry, Spike.
Stop our boat.
Oh, my friends are in there. Hey guys!
Hi.
Oh, were you just trying to say hi to people you see, or?
Yeah, I was just in the neighborhood. Wanted to say hi.
Huh?
Got some crackers recently, so I'm good.
Doesn't that count as cannibalism?
What? No,
Well,
crackers!
you're a crack. Yeah, you're a kraken eating crackers.
Crackers are not made of kraken.
They're not?
They are.
No, I'm pretty sure crackers are made out of bread or something.
You're not
I
made of
mean,
bread?
most of them are. Wouldn't he dissolve in the ocean if he was made of bread?
Think about bread.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever had hardtack before, but that's supposed to be made of bread. Doesn't exactly melt.
Really?
I mean, it's just really tough. I mean, honestly, I've never put it in water before, but I have a feeling it wouldn't. That's way too hard to do anything with.
Hey, who's the guy that's playing the banjo?
Oh, this is Kermit.
Bye!
Howdy.
Kermit, this is Kevin.
Oh,
Oh, no, sorry. Kermit, this is Gary.
I'm Gary.
Hello, Gary. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
He extends one of his tentacles forward to shake your hand.
Kermit makes sure his hand is gloved and shakes it back.
And how about this one? And he points to Artemis.
I'm Lord of Murder.
Lord of Murder?
God.
Isn't murder bad?
Not necessarily.
Sometimes it's just bad.
Sometimes it's to kill bad people that do bad things.
I don't think killing is really necessary, to be honest.
Fine, then you don't have to worship me.
Okay. So what you guys doing out here? Thought you had a much bigger boat. And where's the fire guy? And the larger, more red-eyed guy?
Fire guy
Who?
is being lazy and taking a nap.
Do you mean King?
Yeah, that guy, King.
Yeah, King broke off with us because he heard a rumor about some of his people over in... I forget the continent. It's the one that sank a while ago, I think.
Oh,
Dragon's
Sky's
Roar,
back.
maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. As for Ember, he's taking a nap inside of a magic artifact.
Being lazy.
Okay.
Yeah, something about being... Yeah, I don't know. It just happens sometimes.
Well, that seems inconvenient.
It can be. Yeah.
We're headed to the island that's behind you.
Oh, that place? And he points to the island with his tentacle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is kind of abandoned. Not a lot of people go by there.
Yeah, well, we saw this, well, actually, I guess LaFlutter could say this better, but, something about, like, Stark Ghost Realm pointing treasure map thing.
Yeah, we had an encounter with spirits that then pointed us towards this island, like a map.
That sounds trippy as balls.
You're not wrong.
Well, I'm willing to give you guys a hand. I got 8 of them.
Mind pushing us along? We'll get there faster.
Sure.
Just don't push us too fast, or else we'll flip over.
Oh yeah. I'll use my weaker tentacle. He kind of shows off a smaller tentacle compared to the rest of them.
Okay, so B, I don't know if you're trying to do this, but, with octopi, the smallest
Yeah.
tentacle is actually their penis.
Yeah, I was just gonna note that.
Did we just get flashed by Gary?
Make a animal handling check.
Oh no!
Leaf is sus. You're like, okay.
Gary. Wait, Gary, right?
Yeah, I'm Gary.
Gary, you mind putting that away? I think I know what that is, sir.
What? It's tentacle.
Leaf looks at him very sus.
Gary gives a look back with some pretty dumb eyes.
I know what a penis is.
You're an innocent child. It's fine.
No one.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I can help you out. Me.
Thank
dives
you. It
down
would be
and-
much appreciated.
He dives down underneath, and after a moment, he reappears behind you guys.
Leaf makes sure to avoid the small tentacle.
All right, you guys ready?
Just a second. Everyone should probably hold on. I guess Nella braces.
Leaf
Make
also.
sure Alana's like really close to the deck.
Leaf is holding Leaf and holding on to the side of the boat here.
Right.
We'll start yelling if we start tipping.
All right. And he wraps his tentacle around the back of it. On the count of 3, okay? 1.
Artemis, you might want to get back from the edge.
Hold on to something. Hold on to
Really?
the- I was flying up a little.
What's after 1 again?
Just do it.
Go.
Just do
Okay.
it.
And he just shoves you immediately. I need all of you to make a strength check. Or strength saving throw.
Okay.
Do we have advantage since we're all holding on?
You all have advantage because you were racing.
Dexterity? Or what?
Strength?
Strength.
19.
19. 17. Kermit.
Nice.
Good rolls all
You
around.
have a
All right.
-1 to strength. You are the weakest. You noodle armed frog.
The new arm frog that's playing the banjo midair.
So as soon as you say, just push, it's like, okay. He shoves you immediately as you feel the force of the wind just blowing onto your face. Kurt needs to hold onto his hat before it gets blown completely off. The boat essentially just skipping on the water like a rock, just bounce, bounce, bounce. And
Oh no.
you're quickly approaching the island.
This is
A bit
not
too
what I expected
fast.
him to do.
As you get to the island and it just makes a deep crevice on the sand as it grinds to a halt, and you all get some serious whiplash.
Oh
Does acrobatics to do the pose in mid whiplash.
my god. Wait, is this snow on the island?
No, that's rocks.
Okay. Okay, I
Alright,
just
It's
that's
actually
down.
seagull poop. You've heard of the White Cliffs of Dover?
Nasty.
Well, actually, the White Cliffs of Dover are chalk, but this is poop.
Well, I was saying nasty about the pigeon poop, not the.
Meh.
So you all make it to the island.
Whew.
Wind somewhat knocked out of you.
Leaf studying herself and.
You guys okay?
Thanks, Gary!
No problem. Have fun. Bye.
Thanks, Gary. Bye.
And he waves all the tentacles as he just dives back under the water.
Like, you can place Artemis, but not place.
There you go, Leaf.
It'll flip off. Yeah.
Yay! Accurately sized Perry. On me. I don't know how you'd fix it, but Perry's token apparently goes under Leaf, but that's okay. Oh, there. How'd you do that?
I put it to front.
There we go. Thank you.
Use right, let's say front.
Nice.
Right.
The last token down goes over the previous
Yeah,
token.
you-
What illusion is Kermit doing?
Like, I was trying to say, this is what Kermit does when Gary was leaving.
Aw.
Oh.
I think Kermit likes
Is it like one of those giant Green Lantern ones?
Well, I was imagining it was orange, but yeah, same thing.
Orange Lantern.
There is
Man.
actually an orange lantern. Wait, no, the orange lantern fits better for Kermit because that's the green one.
He's. Hey, if you say so.
So
I'm
you
sure you're gonna
you made it
correct
to the
me.
island. There's the deep crevice where the ship or your little thingy managed to just cleave a deep crater into the sand.
We might have some trouble getting this out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm figuring we're probably gonna have to camp on the beach anyway, but yeah,
I mean,
let's.
what time
figure
of day is it?
It is 4 p.m.
We might end up having to camp.
Yeah,
depending
I don't
on how
know
long
about
it
you,
takes.
but I do not want to row anymore today.
And sailing even a short distance on the ocean at night can be kind of risky. But
Yeah.
we'll see how late it is before we make that decision when we're done. So, looking at the map of the drawn constellations, does it give me any sort of idea on where on the island I'm supposed to go to find whatever it's leading me to?
It looks to be within the southern half of the island, more so towards the western coast.
So
You're
from where
currently-
we are, would we go towards this direction then?
Yeah, you would have to walk along the beach to reach the western side of the island, and then it's slightly inland.
B, is this like one of those Sea of Thieves treasure maps where it's like got a detailed thing of the island and it's got an X on it?
No, that's what
Okay.
Sage drew.
So you're saying this isn't what's going on, but it's what Sage is doing?
Yes.
Hmm. Sage, why did you make this about Sea of Thieves? Tisk,
didn't.
tisk, tisk.
I mean, I wanted to draw this the star pattern, and then it was
Tisk,
a map.
tisk, tisk. You're a pirate now.
I mean,
So
that
you
explains why she chooses you guys over everything. So shush. Leaf
Aw.
starts heading. Shush. Leaf starts heading in the direction.
All right. You are stepping on the beach. Do.
What? I mean, oh my god.
Stepping on the beach. Stepping on the beach.
No.
Stepping on the beach.
Water Malone.
Yeah,
What?
Leaf is expecting that Artemis and Kermit are gonna follow, but if they're staying with the boat, that's fine too. I doubt that though.
So yeah, is Artemis or Kermit following, or are they gonna take out of the boat?
Finding a video.
Do I get my wild shapes back on a short rest?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, you do.
Cool.
Actually, I don't. I think you need long rest for wild shape.
No, wild shape
might
is
get
short rests.
Let me check. Druid.
I don't want to click play on
Short or
that.
long? Yeah. I have a wild shape back. Now my breath weapon I don't get back. But
You can be a giant crab.
probably.
Burrow in the sand.
Or you could be Larry the Lobster.
God damn it! I didn't want to hit play on it, and now someone else is playing it through.
do you think it is? It's Fred. About to beat my meat.
Do-do-do-do-do.
About to beat my meat.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. So you're walking along the beach, and it's going to take you at least an hour's walk to get to the west side of the shore of this island. So by then it would be 5. During that walk, would any of you want to make perception, nature, or investigation checks?
I'll do a perception check.
Alright,
I'm just looking around.
now
Not
we're
really
doing a
moving.
perception.
Nice.
I feel like-
30 on that banjo.
Yep,
Leaves
I posted while I was playing.
And Artemis? Do you want to do anything?
I'm going to do.
Deception check to see if the island can figure out what my true identity is.
Yeah.
Deception to see if you can turn into Gary.
I mean, wouldn't that be a charisma save to see if you could avoid turning into Gary?
Persuasion, because I'm gonna flirt with Leaf, because fuck it. And Nala, because they're here, I don't know. Flirt with people. That's how flirtation is, a 30.
Oh no.
What does she say?
Or how do you find clues? I was on a joke that we were just rolling dice and not actually doing anything, so I'm like, I'll just roll dice, fuck it. Persuasion. I did something really awesome. Deal with it. No.
It's very flattering.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Let's see. So
Is this her usual just...
No. She was about the fire stuff, so she was like, yeah, so the fire stuff does the carpet match the drapes. Something stupid, right? Some stupid like pickup line.
Try and be cute, funny.
Yeah, right. I was asking about that. Like, did you check?
Steve kind of blushes and is like, I mean, I don't have the flames anymore, so not
Well, I mean,
current.
you still have red
I
hair.
don't-
Do you have a fire crotch still? Either way.
I don't know if I should answer this, and she's just flustered and blushing.
He's like the eyebrows wink. Like, I won't tell anyone. You can trust me. Smile.
While you are blushing, Nala and Leaf, you would notice that there is some pretty odd-looking sea cucumbers, what appears to be, growing on the...
Oh no!
Yeah. And I guess when you see that, I guess to Olive, like, so yeah, you don't know if dragon people's things goes inside of you, like.
It's a maroon-looking, or it's a maroon-colored sea pickle.
Or if you want, I can give you like an anatomy lesson. I mean, I can turn into one of those dragons if you want. See how it works. Wink.
Oh look, a sea pig.
Sea pickle.
Misconception, these are actually animals.
Sea pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like when
You
you
said
were
sea
walking
pig.
past.
Or I can
Or
use
yeah,
a
you use-
cucumber, whatever.
No, I'm saying that Fred had said sea pig. Yeah, Leaf would start walking towards it. Walking towards it! Walking towards it.
Well,
Yeah.
Artemis is pent up today.
When you go and approach towards it, you see that it is not a sea pickle, as it's more so some sort of large bulbous fungus.
And now it's like this friend of yours.
Mushrooms.
Oh, you said mushroom. Cool.
A large bulbous fungus.
It's a friend of yours.
Does Nala recognize it?
Yeah, can I make a nature check to see if I know what kind of
Nature
mushroom
check
it
for
is?
both, Nala can have advantage, because mushrooms is their thing.
Yeah. That's a 21.
21.
And LaFlutter knows more.
I'm sorry.
No, it makes sense. Nala just sort of found mushrooms. The knowledge she has about mushrooms are because she, like, had to go find a bunch of them. I'm pretty sure you just, like, read one too many textbooks about them somehow.
Actually, she lived like practically in the forest near her house and just spent so much time in nature and just loved it.
Oh yeah, so Nala didn't practically live in the forest. She lived in the forest.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah. Which is interesting. She did read books about it too to know what she was doing, so it does make sense that she has more actual knowledge on it. So
yeah.
but
I mean,
she
she
did
just
also actually live in it too. It wasn't
Nala
just
just
that
needed
she
to know
read
the
on it.
ones native around that actually did stuff. This was
She
just a
read about
passing fantasy.
everything.
I guess technically
Yeah.
I could have added. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll a d4 and add guidance to it because I can.
Gee.
Well, no, you're still better.
No,
Congratulations.
you're
Just by one.
with your 21 plus 3, that's 24.
Oh, I did have
You're,
advantage.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I forgot I did. Okay.
You're one up higher than me.
Yes,
Right.
one up. Technically correct. Yes.
One up. Anyway,
Mhm.
so when you go to examine it, you see that it's a type of fungus that tends to grow on a more isolated beach side because it doesn't interact well with people. But you would also recall that it has some properties of hallucination or hallucinogens.
See, you tell me that it's fun mushrooms, and now I'm tempted to take it.
It is fun guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, these can give you a bad time. Yeah, yes, B. We all know the fun guy joke. Yes.
Fun.
They can also give you a fun time, though. Leaf kind of looks at them. Yeah, Leaf, do I know how to consume them to get the hallucinogenic properties without
We
getting
went from
sick?
you calling the flutter B to
Oh
you
my
calling
fucking God, I'm
B
a dumbass.
leaf.
I'm also high. I'm sorry. I'm a dumbass. B.
B.
Would Leaf know how to consume these properly without getting sick but still getting medicinal properties?
I will say with that roll, yes. You need to avoid the stem and just eat the bulb.
Cap. Yeah,
Cap.
okay. Leaf starts collecting caps.
All right.
Try to
May-
remember to spread the spores out if you're gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and
Leaf will definitely make sure to let the spores spread along the coast and such.
you grabbed 6 caps.
And Nala's just gonna take a spore sample and she's gonna add it to her collection of various spore samples.
Okay.
Doo-doo. Yeah. So do we come across a cave at some point, or?
You continue walking as you do eventually reach a sloped down coast that has a bit of a faded trail from from the lack of grass growing and leading upwards inward to the island.
And Leaf puts the caps into her corset.
All right.
So does that look like the place, or?
I'm sorry.
The grass land up there. Does that look like the place on your map, or do you not
See?
know what to look for?
Pulling out the paper, the drawing again. Does it look like it's in that area?
Like this path would lead you towards it.
It's at least the start of the path towards it.
Okay.
Leaf continues on, heading up towards the grassy plain.
Nala suddenly remembers to be paranoid and just looks around for druidic symbols like, there are mushrooms.
Who's around if there's mushrooms?
Well, yes.
You can go ahead and make your check if you wish.
I don't think that's how druidic works.
Okay then. You do not see any.
Okay. Yeah, so other people can make a spot check to figure out if there's druidic, but you and others who know this language automatically spot such a message. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you do not see any signs of Druidic. As you follow the path, the grass quickly fades and dissipates as it gets to more of a desert-like environment. The amount of grass and trees still every once in a while sporadic, but it's mostly sand. And as you continue onward, you see the distant image of what looks to be a building or temple of sorts.
That's it.
Maybe. I wonder if there's another Sphinx.
Is there any magic or anything around it as we approach? At least that I can see.
As you're approaching from this far distance, you do not see any immediate indications of magic, but you do see it looks to be a bit of kind of like a very faint haze, uh, glow.
Aura?
Was high.
The area might be magical. Is that what I'm
Shimmer.
getting from that?
Shimmer. There you go.
So where are we coming in from? Just the bottom?
Those
From the bottom.
Yeah.
are the same statues we saw at the Skur.
Who?
You remember that elven god with the curved sword?
Oh, the ones that automatically attacked when.
No, those are the golems at Fort Glass. No, I'm talking about when we found where the Skur came out of.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah, it was some elven god, I think. This doesn't seem good, but we should figure out what's going on here. This may be dangerous.
Can I make a perception check or anything? Because something seems.
Oh yeah,
Like right in front of us.
that is a good spot.
Reload back in.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
just draw a shape, put a little text in there.
Curious.
Danger.
Oh, that. No, I was trying to set down an actual like path.
Oh,
It's
I'm leaving that there.
nice. I'm a dork.
Ah!
There. Enjoy. The path.
I'm not touching that.
You're on it.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's like danger.
Make chaos reign.
Danger.
Hmm.
So, what are we seeing as we approach in here?
Alright. So as you're approaching, you see long, tall pillars that form a bit of a, not so much a arena, but more of a smooth plateau around you. The statues of the elven man with the curved sword decorated on the corners of these. On the ground in front of you are deep carvings supposed to be large scarabs, but with more angelic wings. And the center having a elevated stone platform.
This one seems to have fallen over or something, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mush, do you think you'll be able to translate any of this?
If there's any writing, I should be able to read it.
Oh.
Hmm.
I remember there was writing on those stepped pyramid things at Fort Glass, so maybe there's going to be something.
When Leaf passes the statue, is there any writing or anything on the statues themselves?
There seem to be carvings around the base of it, but it doesn't seem to be in any language. Or just so decorative.
Okay. What are the carvings that are decorative on the side?
The carvings are more so kind of like Not so much glyphs, but just decorative patterns. Like dash, line, dash, dash, line, dash, line, dash, dash, line.
Okay, and are they all the same on the statues? No differences?
They do appear to be the same, yes.
Okay.
Actually, I think there's something up here. It yeah, I think that's a language.
Looking down upon it, you do realize, Sage, it is indeed a language.
And I should be able to read it.
You gotta touch it to read it.
No, not with her. Her not there.
Oh, okay.
So let me.
Trying to find it.
Eyes of the Rune Keeper, yeah.
Here we go.
Eldritch Sight
Wait,
is
wrong
detect
one.
magic, but you're thinking of Eyes of the Rune
Yeah,
Keeper.
I know it's here. I'm just hide not seeing it because it says Eldritch. There it is. It says Eldritch Invocation in front of it, so my eyes keep getting mixed up.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you need Eyes of the Rune Keeper.
Alright, so that is what
I
it says.
clicked it. Oh,
I can read it too.
Can you read it?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so you're like
Artemis is
tracing your
casting
finger along?
comprehend language.
Okay, then yeah, I'll go ahead and send that to you as well, Artemis.
That's so. What it says makes me worry. It says, "Tomb of the Exalted. May those buried here be forgotten always."
Stuff.
Well, wait. This... Okay, we should look around here. This might be a Tomb of Kronos if they're wanting to be forgotten. I don't...
Maybe like the bad guy wrote this, so they want the good guy to be forgotten, right?
Yeah, like that one tomb with all the traps, how they didn't want us to be in there.
Sage, also make one perception check.
Yeah.
Who does?
Sage.
Sorry, hang on. I was just looking out my window because there's a car alarm going off, and I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything going on.
I can confirm it is a car.
Yeah.
Kermit's been playing Crab Rave? Kidding me.
You wanted perception, right?
Yes. Or investigation, up to you.
Oh, I would have done investigation then.
Investigation.
Okay! Say, fuck you!
Alright. While you're looking at this and slightly worried, you do see on this ring circle part up here that it is a familiar symbol of the Reticence Athenium.
This place might be connected to the library in some way.
Takes you to the library. Order. It gives you a card.
Oh, that would be great. Maybe we should check around for more writing? Maybe on those pyramid things?
Yeah. Or maybe in the circles on this. Leaf approaches this first since it's closest and looks in the circle on these.
Alright. It looks to be that of like a scarab with
No writing?
no writing. The scarab itself seems elevated with the wings more embedded into the ground itself. And it has little, not golden, but faded dark gold slants on its back.
Okay. Is Nala or Artemis doing anything?
No, Artemis. Correct.
I'm looking around to see if I see anything that catches my eye.
Noah has nothing to do, so she's going over to vibe with Kermit. Tries to grab a glow stick. As we cheer over the
Of
people that can
course.
do something.
You act like Kermit can't do anything.
I mean, he can do something if he wants.
Playing the banjo.
Yes, he's doing what he. Well, I'm not going to say what his God-given right is, but
What is Artemis like? Oh, flirting some more.
yeah, Kermit's playing the banjo. What he perceives that the girls have it, so unless they want him to help, he'll just stick by here, providing ambiance.
You can do it. Yes, you can. Read the ancient forgotten languages. Yeah.
God.
What is Artemis doing?
Round.
Was there anything that we looking for in particular?
Anything that connects to this writing.
To what?
Writing.
Writing. All right. Outside of the writing engravings on the elevator platform here, there doesn't appear to be any writing on the spires or statues or scarabs.
Trying to explain anything more what the hell this is.
No, nothing.
Anything that looks like a lever or a button.
Oh, check under his skirt again.
You're right, that was an authentic way for someone. Oh my god, Leaf begrudgingly walks over to a statue and looks under the skirt.
Nala returns the glow stick and goes to a different one and does the same.
Is there anything under the statue's skirt?
No. Just a hole.
A hole, that's something.
Somehow play a prank.
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Shoot. No.
Wait, Artemis is turning into one of those elven statues?
I can't, right? It's not a human thing, but I guess I can turn into a stone person? I don't know.
You cannot.
Use major image to put a dong in one of the statues. It's a huge dong, though.
Okay. Go ahead
I'm
and
guessing Nala went to this one next. Is that the one you do it to?
It doesn't matter. One. All of
Yeah, I'll say it's
All
the
of
one.
them have dongs now.
one of them does.
I'll say the one that you're closest is the one with the dong.
We would also have approached this one and is looking under it with Nala.
Okay. Do we grasp
Oh,
it together? Because she's grabbing it. She
Yeah,
thinks
your
it's a
hand
lever.
Goes through it.
Wait, what?
Real.
Oh.
Illusion. It's illusion.
What's going on with this lever? It's really strange looking too.
This is behind you like tee.
Artemis!
Did you do something?
I'm not the one grabbing penises.
There was
Uh,
legitimately a lever under one of these statues before.
Get jealous.
You were.
you want someone to look under your skirt?
Penis. Yup.
You don't even have one right now!
And offering. Wink.
Lee blushes and rushes away.
Run away! Run away!
Oh, I do the.
And now you
Okay.
do what, Spike? Run. Does this one have a lever or a penis?
No.
Okay.
Is there anything up here that looks like it could be fiddled with?
Currently, no.
You know what? Leaf thinks of something and just. She says a lot. Reticence Athenia. Nothing? Nope. Not voice activated.
Dispense paper towel.
That's me.
I mean, we've don't know what to do here.
FBI, open up.
I guess this is just something to keep in mind. I don't know.
Like, I guess I go and like investigate this thing while it's tipped over. Is it like this time, or can we pick it up?
Was there anything else with the stars, the constellations that would elude me to do anything?
Go ahead and make investigation with it.
Is that to Artemis or to LaFlutter?
For the pillar itself, it seems to have fallen over with age.
I guess I have investigation.
You get investigation. Okay.
18 or
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Nala is helping you because she's there and also guidance.
All right. So looking at
so
the
25 in
constellation,
total.
looking at the constellation pattern that it has, you notice that there is repeated use of the circle that was present in the constellation that was kind of used to create the pinpoint circle that of the area that you're at. And with each of the circles, it's slightly half open and then half closed.
So we're looking for the SCP Foundation.
No.
So we need to find planets.
I mean, maybe it has to do with all the circles. I mean, Leaf tries touching some of the circles on this and seeing if anything happens.
All right. Which circle do you touch first?
Let's go with the center one since it's the biggest, and it's the one that looks like the symbol of the library.
All right. So upon touching it and kind of pressing it and moving around, you realize that it can turn.
Like it spins?
It spins.
Leaf continually spins it to see if it's like an opening top or something. As much as it'll go.
As you are spinning it, Artemis, you would notice that the spire pillars that are around you are starting to rotate in the sand.
This one that's broken in front of me.
That one is still rotating, but kind of just like on an axis, tilted.
Wait, is it gonna rotate and like slap Artemis? Like it's gonna go woof?
Oh no!
Slow.
Not like it. I'm not saying like it's all going. All the pillars are going like this. I'm saying the individual pillars are going.
It's like
this.
spinning on itself.
Yeah. So it'll be centered along the center, so the axis of the pillar might be such that it wobbles, so it actually turns that much.
Well, it would be
Actually, it might hit the statue.
It would be considered for Sage on which direction they are turning it.
Do you
Right
cock
away.
slap Artemis?
Watching it. Away.
Let's say, for the sake of things, I'm spinning it like this.
All right.
It makes sense if you're unscrewing it too, yeah.
So
Lefty loosey.
So as you're turning it, you do notice that all the pillars are turning left or counterclockwise, including the one on the axis, which is making the wide turn.
Like a rodeo bull.
Leaf stops before it hits this, so it's kind of like here.
All right.
That's weird. Maybe this is a puzzle?
There may be different ones that spin different things. How about you try this one?
I'll try this one, yeah. Now I'll try spinning the... Well, first of all, does it spin? Snake hat number 2?
Yes, that one spins.
Okay, she turns it to the left.
All right.
He pays attention to look for what's spinning.
As you turn it to the left, the statues are turning left.
Okay. She's gonna want, so if they're turning left, she's gonna want them to go a full 180. She wants them looking at the pillars behind them.
All right. So spires left.
Did I just get on the spire?
All right, and so statues are 180. Spires are at 11.
So they're facing each other or something.
I mean, with the spires looking the same, we don't know what way they're supposed to face just yet. Leaf tries this head next.
All right.
Does it
As
spin?
it does spin. As you spin that one, the scarabs with the slanted dark gold top on it kind of start to open up and revealing a just absolute treasure trove of gems, jewels, and rubies embedded into a gold plate. And as you continue to turn it, it goes from fully open to closed.
Maybe that should be open?
Leaf turns it so it's open.
Alright, so let's go open. Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
maybe if that's open, then we could.
Kermit, do you have any ideas?
No, I don't think I do.
Obviously, have to turn it to match some kind of array. So I mean, we just gotta figure out what the array is. So any significance about any of this stuff? About like seen something or other?
Are there any arrows on this spire?
Make investigation.
Okay. That's a 9.
You cannot see anything over the sand and dust.
I mean, unless I can add guidance to that, can I?
You cannot add guidance to yourself.
Okay.
You can add guidance to yourself.
I think you can.
Yep. That's why I get like random numbers like red and green all the time.
Okay.
That's an 11.
Still don't see anything. Leave.
Okay.
Um,
No, we checked. It doesn't have a penis.
Does it look like their swords or maybe their arms? Do their heads turn? Does it look like anything is different with them at all? Or
You can make an investigation. All right.
25?
So,
Nice.
looking at it, trying to find any sign of what this is and what could be, you do notice that the line dash dash line dash line dash dash line, eventually there is a break in the pattern, an empty space.
On all of them, or
On the one that you're looking at, and when you go to check the rest of them, they all have blank spaces.
okay, but I don't really know what that means. Hey guys, there's a pattern here, and in the dashes there's a gap or a space.
Oh.
The pattern.
Is.
It's like dashes and lines.
Well, unless that's a code.
I
It might be a
mean,
placement?
Kim, May pointed out to me.
Over here. It's on these statues of the elven guy.
Right. What was the pattern again?
It goes, I'm going to go ahead and just freehand it over here. It's line, dash, line, line, dash repeated
Hmm.
until
And you
there's
said that there's.
and then there's one space that's like where one of either a line or a dash will be missing.
Be referring to the DM you just sent me, I refuse to desecrate this statue.
I just told Fred, what would Ember do?
Yeah. So there's like lines and stuff on that. Were there lines and stuff on the spires too?
Looking at it, you see that there is no fires. There is, however, a series of symbols.
And what's the series of symbols on the
The
Oh.
series of symbols are as follow: cow, owl, cat, and dog.
This is a Skyrim puzzle. Okay, we need a dragon claw.
I have a dragon rib!
Maybe that'll do? I don't know.
uh, this is.
Too bad that baby dragon's inside the egg.
I'm trying to keep up, but I am far too sleep deprived / exhausted to
This
try.
might be a spot where we have to end and come back, because I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Do you wish to return to this puzzle in the next session?
Probably.
All right.
I need to get dinner.
Okay.
Then we can pick up this session next week. We shall resume this puzzle. And just go ahead and make sure that it is all marked. Spires are turned to 11. Statues are facing 180. And scarabs are 4. Okay.
Okay.
Participate in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can get sleep.